This is the unluckiest run I have ever played in Stellaris. We conquered the entire galaxy as the Vitari conquered every neighboring vessel, a fleet of tens of millions of fleet power, and then we tried to do the impossible, defeat all 4 endgame crises at once. Every 12 years a new one spawns, double the strength of the last one, and 2 of them appeared inside our borders at the same time. By the end, we were staring down a crisis at 300 times the regular strength, and what happened next is the most intense battle I have ever recorded. Hey everyone, Action here, and today we are going to start a brand new playthrough on the channel playing as the Vitari Concord. We are going to try to defeat the 25 times crisis, all crisis in the Grand Admiral difficulty. If we can defeat that in 4.3, that will be a huge feat because everything is nerfed to the ground. Talking about our build, commanders, we are going to go with the Psionic Ascension paired with the Bioships. This is a very strong combo, and we are also going to develop a new strategy regarding our counselors. We are gonna go with Oligarchic, giving us +2 effective counselor skills and uncanny intuition. Not only are we psionics, but our kind is also tremendously smart in the sense that they can predict and navigate through complex problems on its first attempt. So it is very good. It gives us +2 effective counselor skill, so right at the get-go we already have +4 counselor skill level, very nice. On top of that, for our civics, we are gonna go with Planetscapers, Byzantine Bureaucracy to give us more unity. We are Fanatic Xenophobe, giving us +20% pop growth, paired with Planetscapers giving us +10, that's already +30%, and we also have the Rapid Readers, which totals to +40% pop growth right at the start of the game. Since we will be focusing a lot on our leaders, I also got Enduring, giving us +20 years lifespan for everyone. This should make them a little bit better at surviving the mid-game until we reach the leader lifespan technologies, and then we can make them immortal basically. The Vitari Concord is ruled by the Elad Talgun, Prime Archon, and he's gonna be a commander with Fleet Organizer, because we want to increase our naval capacity since Bioship's main struggle is the naval capacity itself. Now, talking about the game settings, if you want to copy them, it is pretty much default here. Grand Admiral difficulty, all crisis 25 times the strength. As you can see, commanders, regular logistic growth required scaling, tech and tradition cost, and we just have less habitable worlds and only 1 precursor. I really want to play this with the Zronis. I do not want anyone else. Perhaps we won't even find our precursors, but that's something that I'm willing to risk. We are gonna try to defeat the crisis at regular date. If we can defeat them, then for the next playthroughs I'm gonna reduce the endgame start year by 50 years for every time that we defeat all crises until we reach the 2250. I don't even know if that's gonna be possible, to be honest, but yeah, that's an idea that I have. Just avoid worms, I set it a little bit lower because I hate these suckers. But yeah, commanders, let's now get into the gameplay. Quick report from High Command before we dive deeper. Most of you watching aren't officially enlisted yet. If this run gives you ideas for your own games, subscribe and join our Navy. So there we have it, commanders. We started and you instantly received the gift. Now we have access to the Shroudwalker Enclave. Let's see where they are at. The Zedran system, very far away from us, but this is a good thing, don't get me wrong, because we can build a Shroud Beacon in one of our starbases. The Shroud Beacon will give us pretty much teleportation capabilities to access the other side of the galaxy. We are certainly making use of that. Also, we can get some special interactions with them like this, but we do not have neither the influence or the energy credits to spare at the moment. So we are gonna begin by focusing on our internal development. We already have our 2 habitable worlds are pretty nearby, that's amazing. So we're gonna take the head of research, Gafutal Yag, to survey the largest planet of Saya, and on the technologies, instead of going for the psionic theory, we are gonna go with planetary unification instead. It's a little bit quicker to research, and let's go with everything to unlock better tech. Since we are spiritualist, we can instantly activate the veneration of saints to give us more job efficiency for priests. Let's go with isolationist to give us 10% more monthly unity. On the council, everyone is already pretty much at level 5. As you can see, we're gaining 10% research just from the little fella here. Very good. So we can just go here and grab the mind over matter. We are gonna rush this agenda every time that we can. Since we are also planetscapers, we start with pretty bad blockers, giving us a lot of negative effects. So our main priority is going to have more energy credits and clear those out very quickly. We're gonna start with statecraft tradition, because this will give us more council agenda speed, which is exactly what we want. That's amazing. We already found a third Savannah world, which is our perfect habitability. We found our first alien civilization. Not actually a civilization, but a pack of disgusting void worms. Yeah, they're so gross. Perhaps they are emerging from this black hole very close to us. I'm gonna have to send our fleet there just to make sure. And let's clear out some quicksand basins in order to improve our pop growth a little bit. Minus 10% is very bad. And thankfully we will gain 100 pops once we clear out this blocker and the other one as well. No way! We even found a fourth colony. Another Savannah world, although it is a size 11, so not particularly good in terms of planetary capacity, but another planet nonetheless. Precisely, commanders. The black hole of Yugak Big is where the void worms made their nests, so we'll have to strike this before the year 2300 in order to prevent the void worms from spreading too much. And we have the Temple of Unity. Centuries ago, a sect of radical priests and their devoted followers on Kal Soth splintered from the dominant faiths, forsaking traditions to form their own twisted doctrine. Calling themselves the Temple of Unity, they have long been known for their zealotry, their rituals steeped in blood and secrecy. Whatever they have become, they are no longer our kin. Their ships do not sing as ours do, they screech. While we can be forgiveful, and with this we'll become the new owner of the hijacked fleet. Alright, so we gain a little bit of a maulers, so okay. Gonna make our early game a little bit stronger. And we also gain another commander. Interesting. Now that we have another 1000 energy credits, we can clear the final blocker of the impassable mountains, which will completely remove all the negative effects we are gaining from the Civic. Oh no, we found some alien menace on the Barrow system. It appears to be some kind of defensive position for a mining station. We do not have the military power to take them out right now. That's what our military analysis make of this. But can we go around them? I think that we might. Let's establish our first colony on Saya 3, but what name should we have? What about Aetari? Since it's gonna be our first colony and it is even larger than Kal Soth, it makes sense, right? Aetaris is our main source of the two suns, so yeah, it makes sense for a very large planet to have a name that resembles our stars. And nah, that's unbelievable. On Rough Belak, we also found another arid world, so we have 5 worlds that we can colonize right at the start of the game. Unfortunately, we do not have enough pops to make all of these planets in the perfect logistic growth curve. We only have about 5,000. To maximize the growth for all these planets, we would need around 12,500. In launch the minds over matter agenda, giving us more progress towards the psionic theory, and for our next tradition we are gonna go with evolving society to give us even more unity. Let's colonize our second planet. This one will be called Kaeldris, just like a little brother from the Kal Soth, size 12 Savannah world. Now that we finished the statecraft tradition, let's grab one vision, right? Because after we got the hijacked fleet, some of the ideas from the other code have been spreading around our empire. So with one vision, we will unite our entire population under the same goals, because after all, a house divided against itself cannot stand. That's an interesting world, an ocean world size 30. That shouldn't be natural. We're gonna need to send our science ships to survey that planet a little. And we did find some traces of another civilization nearby. Let's hope that they are not that aggressive. Now here we got a perfect trait for our council, the fertility creature. Not only he will increase our pop growth speed, but he will also give us 15% more food from jobs, which is exactly what we want with the bioships. And our hijacked fleet, well, they are engaging a very small marauder system. Yeah guys, I think you can handle that. Thankfully only one starbase engaged them, so we could retreat. We only damaged one ship but didn't lose anything. That's the perfect scenario, to be honest. Here on the world of Atari, since it is a size 21 planet, we already have a massive planet capacity of 8.1 thousand. Very good. We just don't have the population right now, but we're gonna build a medical center to improve our monthly pop growth, give us some amenities, and we'll also build a city district to give us a little bit of housing. Yeah, there is an alien civilization nearby, and they appear to have the biological ship set as well. They are already serving a nearby system. Perhaps they could be good allies if they are bioship sets as well. What they have? Vivin 2, the Empire Capital. Yeah, spiritualist, xenophobic. What we are? Spiritualist and xenophobic. Pretty much us, but in a different species, basically. Okay, now that we build an empty city district with no zones, our planet capacity skyrocketed to 8.7 thousand, which means that following our logistic growth curve, we need about 2.5 and 2.9 thousand pops to get the maximum value out of this. Of course, we do not have 2.9 thousand pops to resettle to this world, so we are gonna resettle a little bit less. We are just gonna resettle enough so that they can have jobs, and we are gonna resettle just these 860 civilians, because although we are prioritizing the pop growth, we do not want to jeopardize our economy in the early game. So here on Atari, it has a good amount of mining districts, so we can start by building just some mining districts, yeah. And we will resettle all the pops here to just produce minerals. On Caldres, since it is a very small planet, but it does have a lot of agricultural districts, we can make this planet pretty much just an agricultural one. This one does have a very bad planet size and planet capacity as a consequence of that, 5.3 thousand, but we can improve that by removing the quicksand basin. This will give us one more district and improve our planet capacity slightly. In our capital, as you can see, we have a pretty good logistic pop growth of plus 3.81. It is not perfect, which would be 5, so we can improve our planet capacity by building up some more city districts. This will give us more available housing, since it gets plus 600 housing for everyone that we build. On the Caldres colony, since we have a very low amount of population, oh boy, yeah, we're gonna invest this. Not wanna have 2 blockers reducing our pop growth, since we have the planetscapers. Now, if you look at this, we are losing 0.4 logistic growth just because of low population. This is terrible, commanders. Therefore, we need to resettle a couple of fellas from our main planet in order to negate that effect. Unfortunately, we did spend a lot of our energy in the previous event, so we do not have enough to resettle everyone that we want. But within time, we're gonna do that. As you can see, just by resettling around 150 pops, we already reduced it from minus 0.4, pretty much minus 0, yeah, and the more we resettle here, the better it gets. Well, we found the Blessed Torrent Principality, but they try to vivisect our scientists, so we are not very happy that they try to do that, and as we are not friendly. They even have Byzantine bureaucracy? What? They are pretty much just a clone of us. Alright, so let's build a spy network, because only one of us will survive in this region. Let's also insult you. Now we have pretty much perfect growth on our capital of 1 plus 4 from pops, which is the maximum of 5 that we can get. But on the Atari colony, we are already getting plus 1.3 from pops, and we only have 1000. The more we resettle here, the better it is. And since on our capital we are capped out at the maximum of 5, every pop that we resettle here, we won't be reducing our overall pop growth in any shape or form. Now, looking at our logistic pop growth curve, the bare minimum amount of pops that we need in order to achieve the perfect 5 logistic growth is around 2.6 thousand. That is accounting for a planet capacity of around 9,000. Here on our capital, we just have that amount of planet capacity, so we can reduce this 4.4 thousand number up until 2.6, 2.7k. The rest of them can be resettled to our colonies. However, in order to maintain our economy, we will only resettle the pops there once we have the available jobs. And now we can launch the Minds Over Matter agenda, and with this we gain the Psionic theory technology. Now, since we have been storing Unity for so long, we can instantly pick the Psionics tradition as well as the first perk, unlocking us the Psycorps building. Now, since time immemorial tales have flourished of Vitarians wielding extraordinary power, powers, invading other minds, lifting heavy objects with merely a thought, or performing all manner of other supernatural feats. Now, our scientists have obtained conclusive proof that certain Vitalis are truly capable of such acts of the mind. As of yet, only a small minority of our species has manifested these psionic powers. Psionic forces are not unknown to us given the influence of the Shroud. If we can unlock psionic capacity throughout conquered society, we can fully reach out our latent potential, so a glimpse perhaps of the future that awaits us. Now we unlock the Shroud tab and we can make progress towards one of the 4 patron. And here on our psionic essential situation, we do have a lot of approaches that we can have: watch and learn, organized meditation, reducing our monthly unity, material meditation, or astral meditation. I think I'm gonna go with material meditation because we have a small chance to discover a zero deposit. It will greatly reduce our unity output, but we aren't using unity for anything at the moment, so it is pretty okay. And if we find a zero deposit, we can harvest it, and that will be extremely useful for us later on. No way, another neighbor that is extremely aggressive to us. They tried to kidnap one of our colony ships. Nah, man. On the bright side though, we did uncover one zero deposit on the Stellaris system. Yeah, that's gotta be the Shroud blessing us right on our home system. On top of that, to get zero distillation monthly research progress by plus 1%, I believe that is every month we gain 1%, so within 100 months we will instantly research this option without even paying anything other than the minus 50% unity, of course. Here on our colony of Caldris, only with 1.6 thousand pops we already have logistic growth of plus 2. Very good. On the Atari, 1.3 thousand pops, we have a logistic growth of pretty much plus 2 as well, 1.9. If we could get 1000 more pops in each of these planets, that would be huge. Unfortunately, we do not have the jobs right now, but we are acquiring the minerals to build the psionic corps across all of our planets. That will give us 200 telepath jobs that will not only protect our own civilization from the crimes, but it will also give us the jobs to resettle the population from Kalsoth. And now that we reached the level 2 on the psionic situation, we can pick all the perks remaining, and thankfully we did spare a lot of unity, so we picked everything right away. And with that we unlocked another ascension perk. Now, since this build is relying a lot on its leaders to achieve a very high level very quickly, we are gonna go with transcendent learning, not only because we will gain a lot of leader EXP, but we will also reduce the leader upkeep, which is tremendously high at the moment at 62. So as a side effect, it will improve our unity output. And oh boy, would you look at that. 2 empires are preparing to declare war on us. I mean, if they make an alliance and they both strike us at the same time, I don't think we can take them, but once at a time, yeah, I think we can handle them. Okay, so the Divine Hakatal Nak Empire declared war on us, and from the looks of it, did they claim anything? They just claimed the law system. It has 3 planets, which would probably be better for them than it is to us due to the low habitability, but we like it because it has 7 alloys, and at the moment it is our only source of exotic gases. And now they decided to claim a little bit more systems. There is no way they're gonna win this war. They have like a slightly higher fleet power, but if you guys know, we are playing bioships, and bioships are tremendously more powerful than their other corvettes. Not only that, we are countering their ship designs by utilizing some point defenses, because as you can see, they do have a little bit of nuclear missiles. The one thing we can't allow to happen is them to take control of this starbase, because this is a very good bonus to us, 1.2 thousand fleet power. However, we are waiting them for a trap. Once they jump in, not these guys, we will send our fleets that are stationed just outside the system on the Saya, and we're gonna strike them whilst they are occupying it, attacking our starbase. Okay, yeah, and at the same time the Blast Torrent declared war. Perfect timing, isn't it? Thankfully we did reinforce this a little bit by constructing these juvenile molders, so I think we can hold this choke point for a very long time if we need. Just as predicted, now they are in a pickle.
Our station is under
Let's see the damage. Yeah, we destroyed 3 corvettes and we didn't lose anything. On top of that, we also destroyed 42 of their missiles. That's very good. Let's repair here, because our other neighbors, they are sending their forces to strike us from Larissia. And we also finished this raw distillation technology. How wonderful. So why don't we build a mining station there to elect it? And as our next tradition, since we are amidst a lot of war at the same time, it is perfect for us to give supremacy. It will give us more naval capacity and a lot of bonuses that we can use during these wars. The Great Awakening. We have awoken. The Vitaris throughout the Vitari Concordat have unlocked their full psionic capacity. Telepathy has replaced most verbal communication between us, and cognitive control of matter might become just as commonplace. As our minds have opened, we have sensed ineffable forces rippling within and around us. Our foremost telepaths speak of the Shroud, a primordial realm from which all psionic individuals draw power, even if only subconsciously. Home to powerful entities of pure psionic energy, like a muffled whisper in a dark room, they call to us from within our minds. With combined cognitive effort, it may be possible for us to commune with these beings if only we can learn to bridge the veil between our dimension and the Shroud. So with this, all latent psionic species will unlock their full psionic potential, allows the psionic assimilation of other species, unlocking their latent abilities, and allows the assimilation of pups into and out of a hive mind, continuing the situation with the psionic ascension. So with this, I believe that we can make contact with the Shroud. Not yet. But we are producing 1 zero per month, which we can then use to distribute zero, increasing the situation speed and giving us 25% more monthly unity. Now that our forces are a lot stronger, we can send them to reclaim the systems that our beloved neighbors conquered. No! Somebody destroyed our scientists. No way. Our head of research, he was level 4 already. Such a cool guy. It was in the border of the Daleth Menace, another empire that is extremely dangerous once again. Yeah, we aren't in a very good position here, commanders. Everybody hates us, everybody destroys our ships. What a lovely scenario. They even vivisected our own kind. Oh my god. There we have it. The Trackposian Coalition, another fanatic xenophobe. We consider your species a grave menace to our kind, Vitari. Unless you can demonstrate that you are no threat to us, our past attacks will be just the start of hostilities between our civilization. I mean, if you presumably consider us a threat and already attack us at the first sight and then ask us for not attacking you, I don't think that that's a good sign, right? Yeah, you guys are gonna be obliterated. But in the meantime, looking at our colonies, we have maximized the logistic pop growth basically of the Atari planet with another 3.92 and with only 2.6 thousand pops. On the Cauldres, we also have 2.6 thousand pops, and the growth here, however, is at 3.38. That is because of the planet capacity. Here is only at 8,000, whereas in the Atari it is at 10,000. So that's the difference here. Unfortunately, this is a size 12 planet, that's why the planet capacity is that low, but we can improve that by just constructing more luxury residences. So let's just build another one of these, and once we unlock the food processing, we can have more jobs here. We can have the urban expansion zones to have more luxury residences and have the perfect growth. Now, since all of our planets are pretty much at the maximum logistic growth curve, we can set foot on even other planets to maximize their output on the other hand. So we have 2 other colonies that we can immediately set foot, and a third one with 65% habitability that we will colonize once we finish these other 2 colonies. So let's give her a shuttle and supplies. The unity will be actually huge for our further development. We can still even pick our next tradition. Now, since we are in a military side here and we already finished the supremacy, the next pick we could have got is subterfuge because of evasion chance and more tracking. However, I think we need to start skyrocketing our tech a little bit. It is only at 370. For this late into the game, it's not good. So let's go with discovery instead, because it will give us more research speed. We do have 3 planets that we can colonize. However, we are waiting until we have the perfect pop growth on Coron and have some excess population on our other planets. planets, because it doesn't really matter if we colonize it if we can't actually have the pops to work there. Now the arc furnace will be a huge technological development for our empire because it will pretty much automate the minerals and alloys production. They will come mainly from stations, and thus we can focus on producing more food. Now we have a ratio of 2.4 to 1 in terms of alloy and food, so it is the end game ratio, not the early game food and alloy ratio, but it's still okay. Yeah, the good part is that we have exotic gases production, so our mature weavers, they can have some developmental pheromones, and our don't have any younger molar here, but the juvenile molars, they have the accelerated juvenile growth gland. I made a mistake of not unequipping the mature molars, because we could even unequip them, and this would reduce their food upkeep. As you can see, mature 2 food upkeep. If we remove everything, food upkeep drops to 1.38, much cheaper. Yeah, so we just wait a little bit until all of our molars grow. The only problem is the naval capacity, because as they grow, they occupy, I think it is 50% more naval cap than in the beginning. Or is it double? Let me check that. Or it is double the naval capacity, so yeah, it kind of consumes a lot. Now with our brand new arc furnaces, we shall continue our economic development. Let's look out for good systems where we can build them. Okay, so archaeologists excavating the hunting lodge have stumbled upon several references to a legendary Rhetorics warrior known as the Huntress. She was apparently their most efficient killer, renowned throughout the domain for having personally butchered thousands of aliens at Makvael. Oh, she's on Charon. It is unclear whether this is based on fact or fiction, but according to Rhetoric's legend, the Huntress was killed somewhere inside the valley when she was outwitted by the alien prey she was pursuing. She was supposedly wielding the fabled blade of the Huntress at the time, so she lost the 1v1. I want to know which creature did that to her. Perhaps we can repurpose it as an army. That would be cool. Well, we can hire a Marauder commander, but we are fanatic xenophobe. We can't allow an outside leader, especially from the Marauder species. Well, they are even raiding our systems. I didn't even know about that. Well, yeah, we have no need of another commander. No, especially one that is raiding us. Now, this would be a good technology, the advanced weaver development, because it will give us the accelerated juvenile growth gland on top of the exotic development pheromones, which is the aura that gives us +2 growth for all of our ships. However, at the moment, our empire already has most of our ships at the elder stage, and the other ones that aren't elder, they're almost there. So yeah, it isn't that huge of a technology at the moment, so we're gonna focus on something else here. What about, well, this one is expensive. What, 790 months? Damn. Let's increase our districts. But the blade of the Huntress, after painstakingly combing through the valley of Makvael for any trace of the legendary Huntress, archaeologists were finally able to pinpoint her last resting place. Her fossilized skeleton was found locked in battle with the remains of a large arthropoid, with her claws still clasping the hilt of a perfectly preserved sword. This must be the blade of the Huntress. The weapon is composed of an unknown material and is sharp enough to cut straight through our strongest armors. So it was a tie in the confrontation. Unfortunately, we couldn't retrieve the specimen or even clone it for our own military and army, but that's okay. Once we activate, we gain sublight speed. That's very interesting. Why would a sword give us sublight speed? The good part about the arc furnaces is that with bioships they cost food instead of alloys, which is a little bit more efficient. Oh, this is a huge event. Polychromatic star. So we have two options, +7 research or +2 energy and +5 alloys. Now the good part about having alloys is that we can just build a Dyson swarm here and get 150 alloys later on. Yeah, it's gonna be really broken once we have the technology. So let's actually delve into the shroud. Increased unity will be huge for us. Research speed will also be good, even better actually. However, it has a very low chance of success. I go with unity +30%, amazing. And well, it's kind of tough for us to establish these without the galactic community, because our neighbors, they really hate us. Yes, let's go with the composer of strand eventually. Can even communicate with it, right? Yeah, now that we have a good society research, let's do that as well. Yeah, all of our battleships are at the elder stage, all elder maulers, so I think we can declare war on our neighbors. They are already inferior to us, but we are even superior because we have maulers, the best ship class in the early game. So So what we want to do is grab some of their population. Yes, we want to grab their population and also make them our vassal. Claim a couple of their systems before we engage the capital and one more colony. That's gonna be cool. And from these fellas right here, they are pathetic to us in fleet power. 6,000 pops, that's a good number. We're gonna claim just these 2 colonies. Now, let's declare war on both of them. Vassalize. And vassalize as well. With only 1 Mauler fleet, I think we are capable of destroying each one of them. So we have 2 fleets for 2 empires. Well, since bioships' main advantage for the Maulers is sublight speed, let's activate the exotic gases as fuel. We can even activate some other ones like the volatile ammunition, because if I remember correctly, yeah, the mandibles, they are kinetic. So although they are in the G slots, they can actually benefit from activating this. And also the reactive armor, plus 25% armor hit points. It is amazing. You're gonna be extremely strong. Well, they were dumb enough to just leave their ships on the hyperlane, so this will be pretty much melee range with us. We're gonna completely annihilate. But before we do that, we have the Composer of Strength emerges. Well, let's gain attunement with it. We wanna have at least the first accord, plus 20% pop growth speed is huge for us. We can release a sector as a vassal. Oh, that's interesting. Host a new species, terraform a planet, breeding, and grafting. Establish a colony. We're gonna do that, thankfully. Let's see the engagement. Should be a very easy win. Yeah. My god. They're just annihilated. That's very interesting. So bio-armies cost food instead of minerals. I thought that it was only bio-ships, not bio-armies. But that's a good thing. Not complaining. And Maulers are exceptionally good against the starbases as well. We just destroyed the starbase and all of their defense platforms turn against them. It's really OP. Now we can orbital bombard their capital with the indiscriminate bombardment stance. Allow their surrender. And now orbital bombardment in the current patch does a lot of damage per day, so they're gonna get obliterated very soon. Composite mandibles level 2, fantastic. It's gonna make our Maulers even stronger than they already are, and we are gonna go for selected lineages just because our leaders, they are approaching their maximum lifespan and we do not want to start losing them. Armies making planetfall on the roughest planet from our enemies. Very easy win. Oh, it's such a cool army design, isn't it? I like it. Conquer another planet, the last one from this new vassal. Yeah, I think we're gonna need more war exhaustion and occupation to win this war. Let's take our fleet and conquer some more planets and systems. Here we conquered Tempestua only through the orbital bombardment. That's very interesting. So it went above 50% and they immediately surrendered. Good to know. Let's do that on their other colonies. Let's delve into the Shroud once again. Perhaps now you're gonna have a better buff. Try to commune with it. Oh, the Eater of Worlds. Yeah, since we are at war, we are gaining a lot of attunement towards that. But we are not getting attunement with the Composer of Strengths, unfortunately. But the Dyson Swarm technology, that's a huge further development for the Vittoria Concord. Because now that we have our furnaces, our main bottleneck is the energy. We are losing so much from our megastructures, and we're gonna lose even more once they are at the final tier. And the Dyson Swarms, they can not only compensate for that, but we can produce a massive one in the Jork system, I believe. Yeah, look at how many alloys you're gonna get there. It's amazing. And this is what I tell you about, that Maulers need to be fast. 400 sublight speed, it is not slow at all, Commander. It's not slow at all. And that is, we even have only tier 1 afterburners and tier 2 thrusters, so it's not even that fast. It could be a lot faster. Okay, how wonderful. We just found the gene tailoring technology, precisely what we need to modify our species and get even more attunement with the Composer of Strands. And the world is bleeding. The surface of Alpheca Prime is exhibiting an unprecedented reaction to our construction efforts. This is a very good event. In the later stages, if we pick the correct choices, we're gonna get plus 15% resources from jobs. A very good outcome. Especially on a relic world that is going to produce us a lot of rare resources with the... oh, we don't have the special blocker here. Or do we need to clear anything? Oh, here, yeah, look. Massive crevice. Industrial sector giving us a lot of special resources from our basic workers. That's amazing. Yeah, let's build our first Dyson Swarm now that we have the technology. Gonna get a lot of alloys from it. And let's choose another system for another Dyson Swarm, but this one will be focused exclusively on energy. That's perfect one, +7. On the major hemorrhaging on Alpha Prime, let's treat and study the afflicted and let's research it. Oh, we can't. We just need to wait a little bit. That's fine. Now that we have the technology to also genetically modify our species, let's do that. Let's remove Unruly because of our empire size from Pops. Let's apply 7 months. That's gonna be very quick. Parasite on Alpha Prime. Fascinating, continuing. A very good amount of society research. Always welcome for a bioship empire. There we have it, the productive relationship. We have parasitic production giving us +15% resources there. There we go. That's what I like to see. Our empire is coming together. There we go. We got a lot of attunement with the Composer of Strengths by just, what is that called? Retrofitting our species. That's amazing. Got +20% pop growth and a lot of things here. So now let's go with the Eater of Worlds. The good part is we are at war, so the Eater of Worlds is the perfect patron. The birth of the galactic community, very good. Let's first proclaim the galactic market, propose at least, because we're gonna need the trade. Now here's the thing, we are becoming a lot stronger, we are gonna get a lot of population from this recent conquest, so it is time we start developing another batch of ships, because after we conquer those 2 as vassals, we are gonna conquer even more empires throughout the galaxy. And we can also delve into the Shroud. Let me just see what we have. Covenant with the Composer of Strengths, no, we're gonna reject the Covenant. Unfortunately, yeah, we lost a lot of attunement with it, but it is okay because we are making our way to the Eater of Worlds. So, looking at the juvenile, it only costs food, 255. However, since we have a lot of alloys, I think I'm gonna build just the elder stage straight away, because I mean, yeah, we might as well do it, right? We have no use for all of these alloys at the moment. Alright, so we conquered our first vassal now. They surrendered, 2 more planets. The good part is, one of them is even an arid world, but we're gonna resettle all of these swaps, we're gonna make them our slaves. They are already our slaves. And we're gonna resettle them to Alpha Prime, which is gonna be our secondary tech world. But most importantly, it's gonna be our main rare resource world. The Eater of Worlds emerge. Such raw power. We gain attunement with it. Let's see how we are. Calling out fire, being attacked in a war. Here we are. And look. Another vassal for us, commanders. How wonderful is that? We can even negotiate agreement and make them our Scholarium, one of them. After some time, of course. Now let's clear out the Void Worms first. That's gonna be a permanent modifier to our Unity output. Always good to have. Go, Maulers, go! There we have it. Oh, we didn't get the Void Worm modifier. Why not? Now we build a lot of juvenile Maulers. However, we need to improve their growth rate. They currently have the accelerated juvenile growth gland. So we're just gonna grab 1 Weaver. We're gonna remove all of it. There we have it. And we're just gonna go for the juvenile stage and grab the developmental pheromones. Not need anything else, but let's just leave it just for convenience. And once they mature, they're gonna remain with the same aura. It's gonna improve our growth a little bit. Build it. There we go. Now we want to move a little bit our position in the Shroud from the Eater of Worlds towards the Composer of Strength a little bit, so we can grab this intersection. How are we gonna do that? Construct an outpost. We have grafting. Apply a species template. So we're gonna do just that. We're gonna modify, have 22,000 from our own population. We could create a template because we have 1 trait fix left. Let's modify it. Let's have a different kind now. We're gonna remove the repugnant. The current template cannot be applied to any available species. Why? Well, apparently I can't apply the templates to anyone else, so I think we're gonna have to do templates for other species then. Great, now that we modified, we are all the way up to the Composer of Strengths, but let's slowly drift to the Eater of Worlds. What we need to do, conquer a planet. We already did that not so long ago, but we can claim systems to gain even more attunement. 11, so let's claim all the nearby systems. Claim this, the ones that cost us least influence. endure and observe in the shroud, and we get zero launchers. Oh, the best technology in the game. That's so lucky, actually so lucky. Now with the zero launchers, commanders, we can start shifting away from smaller fleets towards harbingers, because harbingers, they are extremely good with the torpedoes. It's gonna take us a little bit of time to retrofit all of our ships into that, because I mean, yeah, we have a lot of naval capacity just from Mauler, and we don't even have the harbingers technology, but we did improve our society research by quite a lot. So now let's go for the juvenile harbingers technology, and we gain more accord with the Eater of Worlds. Soon enough we're gonna find these minor patron. What is the next calling? Conquer a planet. No. Why? Both of our Dyson swarms are completed, and one is producing us 159 alloys per month. So we are generating a total of 389 alloys per month just from mining stations. That's so ridiculous. Amazing. So we got into the intersection from the Shroud Wheel, and we can try to commune with the insurmountable one. Now we have the Pale Mountain. Let's see what it does. Miner efficiency per 100 telepaths, okay, but the Psionic aura is gonna give us plus 10% pop growth speed. That is fantastic. Precisely what we want for Psionic's Empire. Since we do have 2 vassals already from the latest war, what we're gonna do is wait a little bit until we can negotiate agreement. Because they're vassals, they're not protectorate, they are on inferior technological level, so I don't want to research that many technologies so they cannot become a protectorate. And we are gonna make them a different kind. We're gonna make it a vassal, but they're gonna give us more resources, because we do have a lot of planets inside our borders that we're not gonna utilize, like this Mua tree. It is a perfect place for us to make our first Scholarium. It is a size 13 continental world, nothing special here, just a regular planet, and it is also located very inside our borders. We can defend the empire very well, and it's also a system that is pretty much negligible. So let's make a colony ship and send there from these guys. Their names are like very large. Alright, now that we have the harbingers, we also can research the zero launchers, 75 months. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get the zero launchers and keep researching the harbingers technology, because if we can get elder harbingers, that's gonna be amazing. Well, let's do this one first, because it's already up, and the zero launcher, since it is a guaranteed technology, it won't go away. Have mature harbingers. Can we have elder? Oh, fantastic. Elder within 22 months. But we're gonna use our other fleets, right? Very soon we're gonna have all the Elder Maulers in no time. And Con del Uto, our first planetscapers, is already at level 8. Let's go with Great Researcher. We already can negotiate agreements with our 2 vassals. We're gonna do just that. So we're gonna have them paying us a little bit of a tax. Unfortunately, it's not that much. 45% equals to only 32 food per month. We're gonna get max holdings. What else do you want? Overlord conflicts all. Now we're gonna have only all. Let's go with none, actually. Yeah, I don't want them joining our wars. They will get even weaker than they already are. Integration, let's go with prohibited. We have no intention of integrating their territory, and it will also decrease the influence cost. Let's go with that. Now for our other vassal, let's negotiate the agreement as well. We're gonna keep them as a vassal. Or this one, let's make this one a tributary, actually, for the sole reason that perhaps the Blastorant Principality, I think they're gonna become a protectorate at some point, which is gonna definitely hurt us, but I think that by being a tributary they won't become a protectorate. Let's also test that and have them paying us a hefty fee of 75% of their basic production. That's kind of expensive. What about this one? 30% 90 consumer goods? That's pretty much what we need. Let's go with 45% even. Tech? It's not a bad deal though. We can't have holdings unfortunately, but yeah, let's do that. So we have 2 agreements. They're probably gonna accept it. One already did. The Divine Hakutal and the Blast one. Now let's see our production. Oh my god. Yeah, we are getting 300 energy, 300 minerals, 200 food. Everything is very, very good. And you also get a little bit of attack. So let's delve into the Shroud once again to see what it presents us. Form a covenant with the Eater of Worlds. We're gonna reject the covenant. Now we just need to make the negative deeds to progress towards the Instrument of Desire. So we need to ascend a planet. Let's do that on our capital, 4000. Great. Now we also need to regulate, pass a galactic commerce resolution. Let's pass this one. And can we pay to the Shroud Walker Enclave? I think we do have some zeros. Yeah, we do. Mastery of the Shroud. We want to seek further attunement to a patron. Oh, yeah, we can't. Can we wish commune to other Shroud entities? Let's support it with 0. Try to commune with it. It is probably the Instrument of Desire. Ah, amazing. Let's research it. Now the Instrument of Desire emerged. It is glorious. We gain attunement with it, and we have a calling. Construct a district. It's so easy, the callings of the instrument. We're always like almost finishing one in our capital. And we have maximum alloys. Oh my god. Yeah, that's what happens when you have Bioshop. You are producing more alloys than food. Now that we have the Harbinger technologies, we can grab these roll launchers, roll pods. Oh, it's these roll pods. I don't think it's roll launchers because we do not. Oh, it is roll launchers. I'm very confused. One calling completed from the Instrument of Desire. The next one, upgrade a building. Let's do that on Alphaca Prime. Now we finished the discovery plus 10% research speed. Amazing. Our next technology, archaeology project, that's gonna be huge. I'm even tempted to go with something like enigmatic engineering. Because, commanders, there is a special interaction between enigmatic engineering and cosmogenesis. If you get them both, we can research the Fallen Empire buildings without even advancing through the cosmogenesis levels. So we're gonna pick that, and we're gonna soon start getting we're soon gonna get the Fallen Empire technologies. Now that we have established a colony on Moa, what we're gonna do, we're just gonna create a new sector. However, we're gonna edit the sector because it is containing another system. This system isn't very huge, but it does have a astral thread, which means eventually this is gonna have an astral rift. So we're gonna want that astral rift for us later on, because we only have one system here now. Then what we're gonna do, we're gonna leave 100 pops, or yeah, they're not self-sufficient, so let's even resettle a little bit more. Do not want them to bankrupt and die if that is even possible. Gonna get 300 more and build some stuff for them. There we have it. We're also gonna give them a little bit of resources. How can we get their stockpile up and running? I don't think we can do that anymore, right? I think we could do in the past. So we're gonna create a vassal. Let's do that. They're gonna be our Scholarium. Now let's change the agreement a little bit. Now only one holding is fine, actually. Only one holding is extremely fine. Limited diplomacy, expansion regulated, fantastic. Now they should accept it. They are loyal to us. And bam. Now they are already making progress towards becoming a Scholarium. In 420 days, it's gonna be extremely fast because they are a very small empire. Itrelian civilization. Ah, there you are. We have been waiting for you to initiate contact for so long. What happens now? Well, what happened now is not very good for you, that's for sure. Hideous creatures. You're not gonna cede anything to them, by the way. Everything's ours. And now, the theocracy has finished it, going from a Scholarium. So what we can do is get the Ministry of Science, plus 3% research speed. On top of that, we should already gain a little bit of a bonus towards our tech. Let's see. Oh yeah, there it is. From agreements, plus 10%. The last option here, it says that it's coming from the Scholarium. Once we have the Hyper Relay network, we are gonna have another plus 10%. But that is if they manage to get a Hyper Relay up and running, which I'm not sure they're gonna get very soon. Amazing. Now we have this roll launchers technology and Ceramo Metal Infrastructure. This technology is a prerequisite for the Orbital Rings technology, and we want that to scale up our economy even further. Oh, so that's very interesting. Since we don't have the neutron launchers technology, I'm not sure, but we can't make the G-slot variant of the Harbingers, only the point defenses. Very, very weird indeed. We do have the technology to build one. Well, let's delve into the Shroud once again. Psionic responses. Our thoughts move through the shroud with newfound intent. At first, we interpreted this as resistance to our present, but now we understand. The shroud is asking questions of us. Though hazy in meaning, these questions are not trivial. According to our telepaths, the answers we give will influence the future of our society. So I think this is the one to get the Psionic special government form. Going transcendent also fits the theme of our empire. We are transcending through the cosmogenesis, achieving new levels of power after we mastered the shroud. So for this reason, the shroud extends our limits, or the shroud has no limits. I think that the shroud has no limits. The cycle is endless. Death no longer concerns us. Now we have the transcendent aristocracy, giving us psionic species traits, more elites and specialist job efficiency, which is what we want. We have so many slaves that the worker job efficiency is negligible for our psionic ones. On top of that, the psychic leader is gonna give us a little bit more bonuses. Also, plus 60 years lifespan is huge. Effective leader skill level plus 1, more counselor exp gain. Later on, since we're gonna have the divine sovereign, we're also gonna become a transcendent imperium, which means that the imperial ruler will give plus 3% psionic aura effectiveness per skill level. And if you look at this, our guy right here, he has already a level of 15 effective level. If we launch the agenda, which is in cooldown, I believe, we have departmental efficiency, that's gonna go up to 17, and we can even have some relics from the curators if we are lucky to push this number even higher. Well, our next tradition, I think I'm gonna go with aptitude, since we are focusing a lot on our leaders. Why not, right? It is also gonna give us more job efficiency for the specialists, which is in combination of our authority. And we found more, a renowned paragon. You feel it too, don't you? The instrument of desire is never still. It craves, it devours, it commands. What I see, I take. No bounty of nature has withstood my will. I offer you my service, not out of loyalty, but because together we can raise the stars and fit the void its due. I like that. Have heart of avarice, giving us 20% resources from jobs on top of 0 from miners, and a whole lot of bonuses. I like that, so let's go. So now we have another civic to pick. Let's already move towards Transcendent Imperium, because that's what we're gonna be once we have the Divine Sovereign civic. I think we're gonna go with Philosopher King, because that fits pretty much with our Empire team, and it also improves our psionic aura effectiveness. If we were to make everything as min-maxing as possible, we would go with experimental sentencing for even more research, because this civic is busted when it comes to tech, but it's not our objective at the moment, so let's reform it. And here we have an official, which is a metallurgist focus, but we can have more. Our Lord Chancellor is gonna give us a little bit more research, and overall plus 20% resources from jobs. Oh, precognitive interface, huge technology, and we got it for free. The shroud works in mysterious ways, of course. So our Scholarium dare to claim one of our systems. Why? They're even harming our relations. But that is not a problem at all, because they have no way of actually trying to declare war on us and winning the engagement. That is completely fine. I don't know what they would do that. Since we have a lot of fleets, 51,000, pretty much by far the strongest fleets in the galaxy at this moment, we are gonna start declaring war to conquer other vassals. The first step is going to scout out which vassals do we want to take. So we're gonna filter by the relative power. The strongest one is the Onek Karat Concord. They have inferior fleet power than we do. However, we have much stronger because we have Maulers. Maulers, they have more fleet power than they appear to have. Where are the Hive Mind? They are here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna claim their capital, once we have the influence, of course, because we wanna have their population. This is gonna be like their main planet. So since they are a Hive Mind, we can even conquer their drones and make them on our own species. We're gonna declare rivalry first, so the influence cost is reduced when we try to claim. Yeah, minus 20%. And once we have the influence, we're gonna declare war. First, what we're gonna do is move our fleets a little bit more into position. We can move them, let's go to our own vassal territory here. In the meantime, we can dive into the shroud once again, forming a covenant with the Instrument of Desire. Of course, that's what I wanted all the time. And since we're gonna go to war very soon, we're gonna get a lot of attunement with the Eater of Worlds, making our wheel into this intersection. Then we're gonna need to move all the way up to the Cradle of Souls and then Composer of Strands. Thankfully, the Composer of Strands is gonna be easy, just grafting our species templates. That will already give us maximum progress. Oh no! So our vassals found the Chosen and they opened the wormhole connecting that. So we are at war with the Chosen. Purification, Casus Belli. Well, we can't make the Chosen a vassal, but we can destroy them and move on. Well, they are very strong. So yeah, commanders, now we have confirmation. What? The Divine Archetype is now a protectorate under Vitari Concord. So the tributaries, they can become a protectorate after some time. The question is, do they keep the original agreement or does it change to something else? Yes, it changed. So they were giving us 75% of their monthly basic resource production on top of some of their advanced resource output. However, now it got reduced to plus 45% on top of no advanced resource whatsoever. Really trash. The Blast Torrent Principality, on the other hand, they are still a vassal, so will they stay that way? We're gonna have to see. Now let's see our Maulers in action. Like our best ship designs, it should be an easy win. Damn. Just one fleet straight up murdered everyone else. 0 losses. Let's send one of our other fleets towards their main force. Yes, we can commune with other Shroud entities. Perhaps this will give us one of the minor patrons, the Luxurious Being. Yes, amazing! That's huge, commanders, because we can just move to this section in the Shroud, between the domain of the Eater of Worlds and Instrument of Desire, and we're gonna farm this patron, and then we can just, you know, farm the other minor patron here. The only problem is that we're gonna be lacking the Sanctum of the Cradle of Souls, but to be honest, it's just one Sanctum, and I don't think it is even that powerful, right? Yeah, just give us monthly influence and envoy improve relations. So we're just gonna lose 300 telepath jobs, but that's not such a big deal. The Golden Dream emerges. They give us happiness from telepaths and more Zero, and the Psionic aura is gonna give us amenities. So our population, they're gonna be extremely happy everywhere on our empire. Good, but not game-changing at all. Oh, now this is a huge opportunity for us. So since the Onak Karad Concord, they have 2 other vassals. If we vassalize them, all the other vassals will become ours, if I remember correctly. So let's move our ships in position. We are fighting the Chosen Ones because they declare war on our vassal. Our vassal decided to open the wormhole to this dangerous species, and we have no ways of going there because we do not have the wormhole exploration technology. Oh, yeah, there we have. Just as I was talking about. So we were gonna leave one fleet, just 12,000 fleet power. We're gonna leave it here to take care of the Chosens, and we're gonna make our main forces strike the Onakara. Perhaps we need to even improve our ships because they are only inferior to us in terms of military. As you can see in the diplomatic weight, it shows that they have 918 fleet power. If we go here, we have a total of 1.3 thousand. 1.4 actually, so they are not that weak, by the way. Since we are swimming in resources at the moment and we want to declare war very quickly, I'm gonna straight up build some Elder Maulers, but I don't recommend you to. I recommend you actually just build the juveniles and let them grow. But since we have some amicable leaders, we're gonna remove them from the council to reduce the ship build cost by 10% because they increase it. There we go, and now we build our Maulers. Now we put the guy back up. Oh, that's a first. Turbo relations, minus 821. However, cordial attitude. We can even establish an embassy. Yeah, sure, let's open borders. Let's see if they're gonna open borders as well. We explored the wormhole, so we are gonna send in the first wave with our Minister of Defense. We're gonna strike the Chosens, and we're gonna conquer all of their planets. For that, we have a pretty sizable psionic army here of 4,000. We're gonna even hire another commander just to improve this army a little bit more. You're gonna be focused on straight up ground combat. Let's send our armies there as well. And I think, yeah, since we are moving towards the Eater of Worlds, I think we unlocked this minor patron. Let's see. Well, or not. Manifold presence. What is it gonna be? Oh yes, the Whisperers in the Void. It's gonna replace the Instrument of Desire. We do not wanna do that, so let's gain a very, very large amount of tech. So it wasn't the minor patron after all, but once you conquer a planet, we're gonna grab this minor patron, no worries. So yeah, although they are cordial to us, they didn't open borders once we did, so I think we're gonna need to declare war on them. Ah, but they are a vassal of the Ornat Karak. Oh, it's because we have only second-hand intel on their diplomatic pact due to the low intel, of course. Let's just declare war to vassalize.
We fly to war.
Now we can send in our fleets. We also have the second wave moving in close. Wow, now they sent in a whole lot of fleets. How many is that? What, 13? 13 fleets, I guess? But they're gonna get annihilated, yeah, by just one smaller fleet. And it's so broken, oh my god. We lost only one Elder Mauler and they lost all their fleets basically. They got 45% war exhaustion from this engagement alone. And that seems about right. Alright, now we did find the other minor patron. Let's try to commune with it. The Restless Presence. Oh, the Black Reaper. I think this one, yeah, it produces dark matter and gives us plus 25% sublight speed. Velocity in pure form. That is perfect for our maulers, but that is granted that we need to have the aura in the system to have an effect, but we're gonna slowly spread our aura around. Well, let's delve into the shroud once again. Let's see what we have. Stay here for a while. Is a new technology. Psionic disruptors. Great. Not gonna use disruptors, I believe. It's good to have the option. We're gonna start the construction of our synaptic blade once we have the influence. We don't have it yet on the Huru system, because all of these pops we're gonna get from the hive mind, we might as well put them to use, since we don't have any jobs for them to occupy. We're gonna process their brains. Okay, now that we've finished the aptitude tradition, everybody got one random trait and we unlocked yet another ascension perk. What shall we grab? I think we're gonna go with the archaeology project, since we have so many planets already at the maximum amount of districts, and we do want to expand their production, especially here on Aitari. We're gonna make our first archaeology project on Corrund, 200 influence and 10,000 alloys. The end of the Chosen. So we already conquered one empire. Unfortunately, we cannot make them vassal because they are fanatic purifiers, but we are doing just fine in the other side of the galaxy, in the Onek Karak War of Overlordship. Very edgy name. However, they have so many systems commanders that's taking forever to conquer them all. Well, let's delve into the Shroud. Satisfaction or Despair? Satisfaction. Oh, 20% research speed. Very good. Okay, so they surrendered. We have won the war. With that, we grabbed one planet for us that we kind of wanted just for the pops to send into the synaptic blade. 10,000 free pops, and we got a lot more vassals. I think we got 2 more. And if you look at this, pretty much half of the galaxy is already ours, commanders. That is in the year of 2300. It could have been a lot faster if we prioritized from the right at the get-go, but we had other plans in mind for the early game. That's why it took us a little bit longer. But now, pretty trash agreements, we can improve this as time goes, and we can make them contribute a lot more to our economy. We did manage to have a very good vassal network. One of our Stellarians up and running. He's giving us a little bit of tech. The only problem is that they don't have a hyper relay, and we also don't have the technology to build habitats. But once we do have the tech to build habitats, we're gonna create a habitat somewhere nearby. We are gonna probably conquer this vassal or do something else with it, and you're gonna make a hyper lane and then release the sector as a vassal with the hyperlane connecting to our capital, and thus you're gonna get the full bonuses from the Scholarium. So since we have both the Cosmogenesis and the Enigmatic Engineering Ascension perk, it means that we can research all the Fallen Empire buildings without actually needing the Cosmogenesis tier 5. That is kind of a, I don't know if that's a bug actually or if it is intended, but it is very, very strong. And since we conquered a lot of pops, what we can then use is those pops in the Snap Glade that we are just building on the Rurio system. There it is. Lovely construction. Once the megastructure is up and running, we're gonna resell the Fanatic Purifiers from the Chosen, these disgusting fellas, and they're gonna be chemically processed in the Snap Glade to produce us a lot of advanced logic. But before we do that, we also need to fortify our fleet, because the entire galaxy will start to hate us, including the Fallen Empires. So we are not in a position to declare war on them, let alone win against multiple Fallen Empires at the same time. We can also pick our last tradition now, and we are gonna go with Subterfuge. Because we are fighting the 25 times crisis, we wanna have all the military advantage that we can have. We are going Subterfuge for the +10 tracking. That's gonna make our Zroll launchers much more likely to hit the enemies. We're gonna get the Facturator Shuladun. The alien is encased in a gurgling life support unit. Your industrial plants are a disgrace. Oh, what a lovely thing to say, right? Very, very welcoming words. So let's enlist, and he's gonna be a perfect governor for one of our alloy worlds. Not this one, because this one is better, I believe, our choosing of the instrument, but another one that we're gonna get later down the line. Well, we can research the first Fallen Empire building, the Shrink Space Depot. However, it's gonna take 100 months because our tech is very, very low, and our empire is very, very high because we conquered way too much of the galaxy. So we're gonna leave that for now. If it was the research building, I would certainly go for it, but since it is just a resource storage capacity, that's not the most important one at the moment. We found the Solarod entity. Unfortunately, it wasn't the animator of clay. That would be huge for us, but that's okay. It is our last minor patron. After that, we can only finish the domain of the Cradle of Souls to gain the Sanctum of the Cradle. 300 telepaths. That's gonna be taking a while. As you can see, we are in the opposite direction from it. So yes, the outsider emerges.
Task complete.
And what does it give us? 10% shield hit points from the Psionic aura, on top of more 0 from telepaths. Yes, not the greatest. Interesting that our vassals, they are trying to save the pre-FTL civilization by throwing in countless nuclear missiles at the asteroid. That must be like a firework for these primitive species.
Our knowledge expands.
So let's delve into the Shroud once again. Ooh, wow. Is this gonna be the Divine Sovereign? We see a celebration. Oh, okay. It's just a random event to lose attunement with the Eater of Worlds, but that is good, because we are making progress here. And I even had an envoy improving relations with the wrong patron. Let's change that. Let's get 2 fellas right here and establish a commercial pact. Let's see if anybody in the galaxy likes us, which I highly doubt. Just the Phoenix Holy Imperium, but they are even suspicious of us. That's the best that we have. Open borders and bribe them a little bit. Fragment of the Reckoning, wait a second. Are they Endbringers? Yes, they are. Oh man, eventually we're gonna need to destroy them. But for now they can be our allies. Our first Ecumonopolis. What a wonderful day. Layers upon layers of urban sprawl eclipse the globe's crust, and it is done. Now we have a lot of jobs here, and most importantly, we can get even more by just building the research districts. The only thing is that we are researching only the society field here on this planet, but we can just make the other ones do the other types of tech. A military fleet from the Mind Warden is approaching our borders. Oh no, your actions have spelled your end and we will hasten it. Nah man, they're gonna get obliterated, poor guys. Where are they, by the way? Man, they're strong, what the hell? 51,000 fleet power? They have titans, they have everything. They are very powerful, I underestimated them, but we are more powerful. And our Synaptic Glade is completed. Now the first thing we're gonna do is upgrade the building, and we are gonna build the Neuro Gate. Why the Neuro Gate action? Why not the Amplirif's Speculator? Because this provides us with 0.02 advanced logic, it is very minimal, and this one provides us with a hefty amount of research. And keep in mind that we already have all the available requirements to research all the advanced Fallen Empire buildings, since we have Enigmatic Engineering plus cosmogenesis. The only thing holding us back at the moment is just the amount of tech that we can produce, and for this reason we are gonna focus on this type of district. Just take a look at the synaptic overclocker as well. It gives us 0.5 advanced logic per 100 neural chips, literally 25 times stronger than this district. I don't even know why they put this in the first place. Due to their advances in technology, Onet Kara Concord is now a vassal. That's great, to give us a lot more flexibility to change our agreement, which at the moment it is not giving us anything. So you're gonna get a very hefty basic resource contribution. Perhaps we are gonna even have a tributary allowing us to charge even more from them. That's gonna cost them dearly, and we could get some of the advanced resources as well, but they are not producing consumer goods. Oh yes, of course they are a hive mind. They only produce alloys. What about tech? Wow, that's a lot of tech. But it's gonna cost us 1.5 thousand influence. That's quite funny, since the maximum stockpile is 1000. Yes, man. I don't think we can charge 75% of their research. Well, we will think about something, but first we're gonna need more influence, of course. Now, this is very interesting. Too many of the neural chips plugged in the synaptic glade have burned out. Unable to sustain itself, the network of the structure now faces a catastrophic collapse unless we deploy fresh components. Do it, 100 pops. We are continuously building the neural gates to get us more tech, and once we research this technology, the synaptic overclocker, we're gonna get it on the buildings as well. Mega engineering technology, how I love you. We definitely want to have a science nexus, so we can have the research speed bonus. Let's delve into the shroud once again. Please be the divine sovereign. Hold the vision, cheap weapons damage, attunement to the Eater of Worlds. No, you were looking for the Cradle of Souls. And the Mind Wardens, they just raided the system and established a shroud seal. Can we remove it? How do we remove it? Can we just bomb it out of the existence? Alright, that's interesting.
Another eye.
Yes, let's make a tributary out of the Onek Karak. You're gonna lose a little bit of diplomacy and other good things, but it's fine, because we're gonna charge them a lot of tech and a lot of basic resources. With this we're gonna get a little bit like 400 tech and 800 energy, 700 minerals, 200 food. Amazing. It's gonna fix our energy credit deficit and allow us to resettle more pops into the synaptic glade. Because this thing right here, man, it consumes more energy than my computer. They agreed? Bam, everything in the positive. Well, now that we have proton launchers, we can have these robots. Yeah, boy. Finally, it took us a little bit of time to research the technology, but you're gonna get the best ships in the game now. Yeah. At Counting Prime Encased, our second research at Kimonopolis, we are already producing 4000 tech, with the goals of expanding this number up to 10,000 at least, so we can comfortably research the repeatables to defeat the Endgame crisis. Thankfully, we finished the Blooming Kaleidoscope. We got even a relic, the Vacuum Flower. What does it do? The Empire's Alloys production plus 75 and energy plus 75 grant a different resource production depending on the star class of your capital system. Okay, but the best part is monthly energy credits plus 10%, on top of reducing that minus 60% monthly energy we were getting, which was terrible. We have 1000 per month, which will quickly fill up the energy stockpile, allowing us to resettle things to the synaptic glade. They're called things, they're not called human beings. Non-human beings no, but the species, they're not called people anymore. Right, now that we have 24,000 energy credits, you're gonna see how much tech we're gonna get just from the synaptic glade. We have some very bad vassals from the chosen ones, these guys that we hate them, and we also have, yeah, like they are unemployed slaves. For some reason they are not being occupied in these jobs. They are refusing to even work the most basic functions. That means they deserve to be chemically processed in the synaptic glade. Let's resettle. We're gonna resettle first just 2000. 2,500. This is gonna get a little bit above 100% efficiency, and you're gonna see the planet production. Bam! Yes. 1.6 thousand tech almost, and 48 advanced logic per month at the cost of 300 energy. Not that much, by the way. Now we're gonna resettle even more of them just to quickly speed up. We're gonna keep our population. We do not wanna kill our own kind. And let's resettle even more from here. There we go. Now we have 4,900. They are producing us 3,000 tech, and people are starting to hate us, I believe. Yes, because we are being a genocidal species.
Another eye.
That's okay. The technology advancements are worth it. So let's resettle even more pops to the Synaptic Glade to boost our research and finish the first Fallen Empire building, the Shrink Space Depot. As now we have 10,000 pops, that's a very large amount of pops and producing us a great amount of research as well. Let's delve into the Shroud once again. Please, Divine Sovereign event, submit. High chance you get a boon of the Shroud. Let's go. Monthly Unity and attunement to the Aether of Worlds once again. Oh, yes. No Cradle of Souls for us. Wait, what? Our first Planetscaper died because of this event? No way! It was a level 10 leader. Oh man, that sucks. And another scientist perished, NASA's Demeter, the one that always explored our astral rifts. Oh, that's so bad. Now, due to the overabundance of happiness being spread by the Festival of Worlds, some people wish to remain here. Well, they're gonna stay, but they don't even know that they're gonna be resettled to the Synaptic Glade at some point. So I think that after finishing the subterfuge, we are gonna go with the Master Builders instead of the Galactic Weather Control, because right now our problem is not the basic resources or anything like that, it is much more like tech production in general. And Master Builders will give us progress towards the Science Nexus, the Mega Shipyard, which we require to build our ships even quicker, because bioships they take a lot of time if we want to build the Elder Stage. And we also want to have more naval capacity from the Strategic Center. Yeah, Master Builder is gonna help us a lot more than Cosmic Stores would otherwise. Yeah, now that we have a lot of energy credit stockpiled once again, let's make a major resettlement into our Synaptic Glade. Now this one will be ridiculous. We're gonna burn through all of the Chuddy noise. Do not like this kind. Unfortunately, we do not have the building that gives us more output for every Nero chip that we have. That would be huge. The only problem is that we don't have the technologies. So yes, it's gonna be less than optimal, of course, but we need to scale up our economy if we are to defeat the 25 times crisis, all crises enabled at the regular endgame date. So now we have resettled all of the excess population we have on our colonies. They're gonna produce us 15,000 tech at the cost of 6,000 energy per month. And they're also gonna give us 500 advanced logic. If we had that building, man, I'm really thinking about just not doing that and consuming all of our slave population and instead waiting for that to appear. Oh, that's a tough decision. Amazing. So yes, the Synaptic Resonator, this is the building that we wanted. It's gonna take 4 years for us to finish the research, but it's gonna pay off tremendously. So that's interesting. Hemadan upon return to us, phasing through the ineffable mist as they shift into her familiar form. Oh yes, so our first Planetscaper that I thought we lost for some reason, she now returned at level 10. Great, and we can delve into the Shroud once again. Let's do that, stay with it, plus 30% monthly unity. Great. The hell? Scientists retired? No, that you can't be. You can't be serious. She just returned, she served for 7 days. And oh man, what the hell? I guess she didn't want to stay in this realm and return to the Shroud. That's understandable. Okay, now that we have the Synaptic Resonator, let's build 2 here at the cost of 840 advanced logic. And now we are getting some better Fallen Empire buildings here. The Galactic Commerce Hub. Skydome is pretty trash regardless. So what we're gonna do is just continue researching the other ones until we have better technologies. Now that also our Synaptic Glade is in full power, we are gonna do that massive resettlement. And oh boys, you're gonna see how much tech we'll be gaining. Yeah, we have now 18,000 pops. and they are gonna consume almost 15,000 energy per month, producing us almost also 40,000 tech and 1,500 advanced logic. Of course, these pops, they're gonna get purged extremely quickly, so this won't maintain for the course of a year. However, it will still give us a lot of advancement towards the crisis. And we also lost 2,000 pops in 1 month, yeah. Kinda insane, but we are advancing very quickly. Let's see the crisis levels. We have 7,400 advanced logic already.
Our knowledge.
One more tech gone. We are speeding through it. It's also gonna reduce our empire size because of the pops that are basically being purged. Look, commanders, a tier 5 technology, the Hyperforge, already available to us. And we are still at tier 1 in the Cosmogenesis. Let's delve into the Shroud once again. Run the gauntlet. Oh, just last monthly unity, but who cares? Have finished all traditions at this point. We finished our first Fallen Empire building, the Galactic Commerce Hub. Now look, commanders, we already have 25,000 advanced logic at this point in the game, at Crisis level 1, with the great Fallen Empire buildings, the Hyperforge being researched at the moment. We only have a lot of empire size and we are playing at the Grand Admiral difficulty. That's why it's taking so long for us to research. If we were optimizing everything from the early game, we could have done this a lot faster, of course. However, we are playing this in a more roleplay approach. That's why we aren't that strong. But, as you can see, with 25,000 advanced logic, we can progress already to the Crisis level 4. So we can get the Stinger Titan, which would be the equivalent of the Paradox Titan, very good Fallen Empire buildings and components, only requiring the level 5 we would need around 60,000 advanced logic, right? So it's a little bit higher than 45,000 from the previous patch, but we can do the applied infinity thesis, which do not require pops at all. So with only 20,000 pops that we resettled from the slave worlds that we conquered, we already reached level 4, enabling us to get easy access to the level 5 by just doing the applied infinity thesis. And we have no requirements to progress towards the crisis levels at the moment, since we have enigmatic engineering, plus the Cosmogenesis. We can just be passively researching the extra good Fallen Empire buildings without harming relations with the Fallen Empires that much, because if you get high levels on the crisis, the Fallen Empires will immediately declare war on you, but just researching the technologies one by one, they get a little bit of bad relations, but not terrible enough to declare war on you. So to start things off, let's look out for which types of Fallen Empires we have in our galaxy at the moment. We're gonna go and have only Fallen Empires. We have knowledge about 2 of them. These are the Xenophiles, and these are the Materialists. Now the Materialists, they are pretty much hating us already because we are fanatic spiritualists on top of going the Cosmogenesis route. So the first one we are gonna attack is gonna be these fellas. They are located right here, not very far away from one of our vassals, and thankfully we have clear way to send our fleets nearby their stations. Now for our ship design, since we are running bioships and psionics, we have one of the best classes, which is the Elder Harbingers with the Zropods. Zropods not only have shield penetration, but they also do much more damage than the neutron launchers. As you can see, it deals pretty much double the amount of damage. It is ridiculous. The other components, they are kind of okay. We also have the precognitive combat instincts, which give us more tracking, and we also can research the Psionic's jump drives, which are gonna give us +1 disengagement opportunities. And as you may know, disengagement opportunity, it is crucial to fighting the Fallen Empires, so we don't lose a lot of ships. Now, since you are planning on declaring war on the Fallen Empires, and we only have 2,000 worth of armies, we are gonna construct a lot of them. How we're gonna do that? We're gonna go here, and let's have 9 planets in that sector, so we can build like 9 of them. That's gonna be 45 armies for us. Alright, we finished exploring the Shroud's technologies, and we got 50% progress towards the jump drives. That's precisely the component that we wanted. As you can see, it gives us +2 disengagement opportunities. That's very nice. Unfortunately, this will speed up the crisis in 25 years, so the crisis will appear a little bit sooner because we have this technology. But anyway, anyway, we are very strong so far. I believe that we can take the 25 times crisis with no problem. We already have 8,000 worth of armies just from that construction, but we need more. We're gonna build another batch of them so that we can just rest assured that we are gonna be able to defeat the Fallen Empires. We also need to move in quick because we have 8 more years on the Oppose the Fallen agenda, which is giving us 25% damage against them. So what we're gonna do, we are gonna already send into position our 2 fleets. We only have 2 fleets, we're not that strong in the moment, but this is more than enough to take out the Fallen Empires without any troubles. So let's buy a relic, Aesthetic Wonders, Gavel of the Tribunal, or the Tianqi Matriarch Nerve Core. Wow, this one does not look good for us. For a Space Fauna build, that must be amazing to have. So we're gonna go with the Lesser Evil, the option that just gave us a little bit of diplomatic weight, not like we need any at the moment. Right, and now that we have our Psionic jump drives, let's move into position, because we can jump with a pretty large range. It is one of the best jump drives in the game, and once we are close to their systems and know precisely where their ships are, we're gonna declare war. Let's delve into the Shroud. Let's see if there is anything good for us. We must find out. Psionic Bombardment. Is that gonna be the strike craft? Yes. Alright, that makes sense. Let's start immediately research them. This would be another huge buff for our Harbingers, but we can't wait any longer. We gotta move into position. Only 7 years remaining. Our armies are already pretty strong, 11,000, and we are getting close to their borders. Yes, so since we are gonna declare war on multiple Fallen Empires, I am expecting that we suffer some casualties, and we also are expanding our naval capacity very well. We do have a lot of resources remaining, so what I'm gonna do is build up even more fleets. I'm gonna obviously wait until we have the Psionic Bombers technology, but we are gonna create more Harbinger and Stinger fleets. Ideally, I wanna have at least 10 of these fleets in order to fight the 25 times crisis. That would be very, very good. Let's jump both of our fleets at the moment here, right next to their systems. Let's see where their ships are. They are here. 500,000 worth of battle cruisers and escorts, which is a very large number. We have less than half of their fleet power commanders, but we are still gonna pull this through. So let's go ahead, claim their capital system, because that's the system that we mainly want. We're also gonna activate all of our war edicts so that we improve our weapons damage a little bit further. Now we are at 400,000 fleet power. We're gonna go and declare war to conquer and claim. Let's already send in our ships here. Let's see if they're gonna move. Where are they gonna move their ships? Okay, they are moving inside our borders. Thankfully, this is a very weak system, as you can see. It has a very, very weak starbase. What we're gonna do is, we have a lot of maulers. Our maulers are specialized in close range combat, so we're gonna put our maulers here, right next to the hyperlane. Once they jump to our systems, we're gonna obliterate them at close range. Alright. Hostile station engage, where? Okay, we already instantly destroyed their starbase, amazing. We're gonna move a little bit further because those ships are terrible at close range. Now we're gonna just wait them here. They are arriving. Our maulers already obliterated them. Let's see the actual numbers. So we lost 36 Elder Maulers, they lost 3 escorts, which is not that great for us, but in terms of war exhaustion we are tit for 2. Now, they are gonna retreat their ships, probably to their main system, the capital. What we are gonna do next is just rush that to get as quickly as possible. If we can manage to get there before they do, we are gonna get them off guard. Let's continue to destroy everything. Long range weapons, destroyed their starbase. Now move to their capital system. Alright, now instantly conquered the starbase. So they retreated to this system instead, not the capital. We're not gonna waste a single minute, we're just gonna go back there and try to defeat them again. But they are regenerating already. That's bad, we couldn't get there in time. Let's bait them out a little bit. We're gonna send our maulers here. Now, that is very interesting. So the AI this time, they prefer to leave their capital. We do have 16,000 worth of armies, so we can just, with the jump drives, can just go to that system and invade the planet, because they have only 3,000. They are constructing more armies, but that's not gonna be enough. Now we're gonna send all of these bad boys there. Meanwhile, we are keeping an eye on their fleets. They are sending in here this system, very long name. They are probably gonna go here, here, and try to save their capital, but we are prepared to do that. Let's send our maulers there and send our fleets there as well, long range ones. Alright, precisely what we were expecting. They are sending their ships to the SWOR system while we already have our maulers, and we are gonna put our ships in position as well. Now, one thing that I forgot to do, and that is completely my fault, commanders, I forgot to get the hit and run tactics. This is gonna give us 2 disengagement opportunities. Perhaps that was the reason that we lost so many ships in the first engagement. But this time, let's see how we fare. Alright, we lost a lot of maulers, and they also lost some of their ships, but that is okay. Now, they're probably gonna retreat to the same system. We're gonna go back there and attack them. Now, since we also finished the Psionic Bombers technology, we are gonna retrofit our Harbingers to have the Psionic Sapers, very good ones. Unfortunately, we do not have the energy, so we are gonna remove the Psionic Shields and get just another large Neutronium Carapace. Once we have the Dark Matter Reactor, we can get some shields back up and running to our ships. Now let's attack them here. Should be an easy win. Yeah, instant win for us. Where their ships are. Now they retreated to the other system, so let's go back and try to defeat them. Now this is a tough system because they have a deep space citadel, so we're gonna avoid that system actually. And keep in mind, commanders, this is the best design, the Mauler design. It isn't meant to fight the Fallen Empires. That's why we suffered so many heavy casualties with our Mauler fleet, whereas our design fleet, we have still full capacity, nothing lost here, and they are pretty much all at full HP as well. So they made the huge mistake, they moved in their ships, however they moved in their ships half powered, so they suffered some hull damage, and they're also spending a lot of resources trying to defeat the starbase. Look how slow the starbase dies, it's surviving a lot of time. Alright, now we have arrived, and this will be an instant win, you're gonna see, commanders. And bam, they just instantly surrendered at commanders. We didn't lose a single ship from our main force, not a single vessel. Look, yeah, we lost some defensive stations there, but they got obliterated, completely obliterated. Okay, now that all of our ships are upgraded with the Psionic Bombers, let's move them into position to attack, this time, the Xenophile Fallen Empire. Alright, so the Xenophile Fallen Empire that we are just planning to attack, they are trying to bully us. Of course, we are not gonna be bullied. As a matter of fact, we are gonna bully you. So let's claim their capital system once again. Now that we are in position, let's go ahead and declare war to conquer claim.
We fly to war.
And let's delve into the Shroud as well. Let's hope that the Shroud has some good combat bonuses for us. Oh, isn't this the Eater of Worlds or something like that? Yes. Unfortunately, there is a Cosmic Storm that is completely blocking our scanners. So we're gonna move in blind, which is terrible. It's a terrible thing to do. But if we don't do that, we're not gonna proceed in the war. That is terrible, commanders. We got screwed. How are they attacking us from behind, though? We were just in this system and they appeared out of the nowhere in close range with us, which is their specialty because they have a lot of escorts. We are in a tough situation. We're gonna activate this edict. Now let's see how we fare in the worst case scenario against a Fallen Empire that has almost twice our fleet power. It is looking tough. We still haven't lost a single ship though. All of our ships that are disengaging when they get low, as you can see, have way too much disengagement chance. During the fight, we lost one defensive platform, which was in the system, but they lost 10 escorts and 7 out of 8 battle cruisers, commanders. And that was in a close range combat, which is our worst case scenario. We still managed to destroy all of them without a single loss. We didn't lose a single ship. That is the power of our tactics and the power of our ship designs combined with our extra disengagement chances. Because with this, they aren't able to destroy our ships even though we get very low on the hull. So let's jump into their capital. Let's not waste any time. Even if there are some deep space citadels, we are most likely gonna explode everything. Look, Yet another win without any loss. Now let's get our 15,000 army strength, land on Cradle. They have 6,000 only. Should be yet another quick win for us. Now the Fallen Empires made a huge mistake. They are moving in to attack our recently conquered planet from the other Fallen Empire, but we have the astral jump action, which immediately jumps our ships without any type of debuff as long as we jump into our own system. I'm only gonna do that once their fleets are in position, otherwise they're gonna retreat and you're not gonna be able to catch them. There they are, attacking us with just this ridiculous 8 ship fleet. Let's go ahead, jump right into their heads. And goodbye. Okay, the Xenophile Fallen Empire surrendered. They left with only one escort out of all the fleets that they had before, and we conquered all the Fallen Empire worlds that we wanted, their most developed planets. Now, the only Fallen Empire left for us to conquer is the Hive Fallen Empire. Only have an idea of where they might be, but we have no confirmations. Because if you look at this at the victory score, there are 3 Fallen Empires that are stronger than us, which must be only the modules, like the nodes. I think they're here, right? They should be. So let's move a little bit closer. We could even use our jump drives to a nearby system. Let's do something even better. We're gonna only have one soldier. Yes, we're gonna jump 1 soldier because if it goes missing in action, we are only gonna lose only 1 transport ship. Not such a big deal.
New truth have been revealed.
There we go. Alien scum. Now we have access to their systems. We're gonna jump here. Last fought. Okay, so we jumped our fleet to the War Splinter for the last fought. We're obviously not gonna go for emergency FTL. We are here to obliterate them, so we will not leave. We will have your secrets. Wow, that is a lot of beings here. And we just came out of emergency FTL, so we have quite a lot of debuffs to our weapons damage and sublight speed, but since these fleets are not all well optimized at all, I think we have a pretty good chance of surviving this encounter. Oh, they are not engaging us, so I guess we can take one at a time. Oh, but our titans jumped in and they are engaging. I guess we gotta engage them anyways. Very easy win so far. We destroyed everyone, we didn't lose a single ship. And the good part about bioships is that we can just stick around and our ships will slowly repair themselves. Now against the Hive Fallen Empire commanders, our main problem is gonna be the Ancient Maulers. These guys are extremely, and I mean extremely dangerous. We do not want to mess with them. However, the other ones, especially the Weavers, are very easy to take out. So our plan right now is gonna take 1 splinter at a time. We're not gonna try to take them all at once. And we're also gonna wait a little bit until we can have the jump drives, repair our ships a little bit. Because do not want to engage them without being able to retreat. Okay, now that we are in position, everything is repaired, the jumps are back online. We are gonna claim one of their systems. Let's first declare rivalry, of course, so the claim cost is a little bit lower, and then we're gonna declare war. They are even patronizing us, which is kinda weird. Let's see what they're gonna do with their Mauler fleet. They are moving. Ah, that is interesting. So they are moving to this system because they are gonna attack us. Their Weaver fleets are standing still, but we want to destroy their Mauler fleet. So perhaps we're gonna declare war to the Phoenix Imperium and go for make a tributary. This way we have access to their borders. Let's see their Maulers. We're also gonna move there. Let's wait. Now their Maulers are going. Wait. So they are engaging us before we can go there. They're sending in their Harbinger fleets. Alright, let's see if we can activate our military applications. This time we're gonna go for the weak point analysis. Now, one quick note here, commanders. If you are running neutron launchers instead of bioships, what I recommend you do against them is, for the Harbinger designs, you're gonna run mostly shields because they have terrible damage against shields, and you're gonna run pretty much energy weapons. So yes, you run plasma launchers and you run neutron launchers in your cruisers to try to defeat them. You can even replace the kinetic artillery for the large plasma launcher if you want to, and you go for auxiliary fire controls because it's gonna improve your chance to hit. Now against their Mauler fleets, which are these ones, shields, you do not want to go for shields. You're gonna go for armor strictly for your neutron cruisers because they have a lot of armor penetration. So on top of that, you go for the afterburners in the auxiliary slots, because if the maulers they get in close range of your cruisers are gonna be melted. So the afterburners are meant to keep your neutron cruisers further away from their mauler fleet. Now let's see how the engagement fares with our Harbinger fleets against theirs. That is extremely bad. So our Harbinger fleet jumped and our Titan fleet was left behind. Now our Titans have no way of defeating them, by the way. No way at all. Okay, but thankfully we managed to send our Harbinger fleet back in time. So let's go. Should be a quick win for us. Let's see. This time we lost 3 Elder Harbingers, which is terrible for us. They dealt a lot of damage through their neutron throwers. Because their designs are even better against ours, we have only armor, so we counter each other off. If you have neutron cruisers, this battle would have been a lot better for you, Commander, because you would have shields, whereas we don't. So now let's engage their Mauler fleet. Let's see if our designs will be able to take them down. We are focusing on their stations, which is terrible. Now we should divert our focus towards their small fleet. Look, we are retreating everything. We are not losing a single ship, which is precisely what our designs are meant to do, though. We are kiting them a little bit, even away from the screen. One fleet missing in action. The other fleet as well. Well, look, Commanders, this is precisely what we were planning against. We didn't lose a single ship because of our disengagement chance, whereas they lost 15 of their ancient maulers, which they cannot rebuild because Fallen Empires, they are stuck with the amount of ships that they have. So, the war of attrition, we are gonna win this just because we have more disengagement chances. And as you can see, our fleets are not even gonna take that long to come back home, only around 5 months. Okay, so as predicted, they split up their fleets. 2 of their fleets are engaging the Font of Knowledge, whereas their Mauler fleet is left alone here, and they are even damaged. Yeah, look, oh my god. This time we completely annihilated them, destroyed pretty much all of their ancient maulers and almost all of their juvenile weavers. Now we can use the astral jump to go and fight the other ships that are orbital bombarding our world. They also didn't repair their harbingers, which means we are in the perfect position here, Commanders. Let's see. We arrived, already destroyed one of their ships, and now moving to strike the other one. As you can see, we destroyed all of their ships once again. For the Ancient Weavers, 19 Juveniles, Ancient Harbingers and Juvenile Weavers destroyed as well. This is just a massacre, Commanders, an obliteration of all of their forces. Well, now that we destroyed all of their ships, as you can see, they're pathetic. All of the splinters are pathetic. So we destroyed all of the Fallen Empires in the galaxy with pretty much just one fleet, right? Only one fleet of Elder Harbingers plus Stingers was more than enough for all Fallen Empires, and we only lost 3 Harbingers. Yes, 3 Harbingers was all it took. We did have some Elder Maulers that were destroyed, but Maulers, they are not meant to fight the Fallen Empires anyways. They were just here because we have them from the early game that we managed to vassalize the half the galaxy. So we vassalized the galaxy with our Elder Maulers, but now in the late game we used our Elder Stinger composition and with the Harbingers to ensure a galactic victory. So before the endgame date, we already dominated everything. We don't even have the galactic contender ascension perk, and we didn't even use the Oppose the Fallen agenda in order to take the Hive Empire, which is pretty much the strongest Fallen Empire in the game at the moment. So yeah, Commanders, our tactics here are immensely powerful. Please use the hit and run tactics with the disengagement opportunities. As you could see, we lost the battle on Chigris. They were annihilating our ships, however all of our ships retreated. We didn't lose a single Harbinger, whereas they suffered heavy casualties for their Maulers. So even though they won the engagement, we just came back here with full strength, whilst they didn't even repair their ships, and we managed to successfully beat them off. Now, this is the event that I wanted to have, and since we shifted from Imperial to Transcendent Democracy, now we have it. A powerful psychic, but a god? Hardly. Of course not. She is a god, a goddess in that case. Now we have the Divine Sovereign, probably, let's see. And we have pretty much everything that we want. Divine Sovereign, Masterful Crafters, Experimental Sentencing. Now we are gonna grab Minister of Defense, obviously Head of Research, Divine Conduit, Experimental Overseer, and finally, let's go for Master Crafter for more armor. I think so, right? Yeah, let's go with that. We wanna have the maximum amount of level for the Divine Conduit, so let's look for any leaders that have the highest level of our empire. So we have Nomeden Mede as our Divine Conduit. Now the great part, Commander, is that we stacked up so much effective counselor skill levels that we're gonna get massive amount of job efficiency. You're gonna see that. But yeah, as you can see, we have so much effective counselor skill levels that on our capital we are getting 152% job efficiency. It is kind of ridiculous. But yeah, every 100 telepaths is giving us 19% job efficiency for Psionic pops, and that is even increased if you have more counselor effective skill level, which we're gonna get. Departmental efficiency is gonna give us another +2, and if you get the relic from the creators, you're gonna get +4 already, which is amazing. And now in order for us to have the prototype relic, we need to finish up our galactic history in the Grand Archive here. And to that happen, we need 2 more specimens. How are we gonna get specimens? One way of doing that would be to trade with other empires. However, everybody in the galaxy hates us. Literally everybody. So we can't really trade with anyone. We gotta take it the conventional way, which is to declare war, get to their capital, and destroy the Grand Archive, getting everything for us. As you can see, there they are, the Grand Archive, and we know that they have a specimen because once we offer a trade deal with them, we can see that they have the Rudari Death Laser prototype from the galactic history. Now there are other fellas very nearby, which also share the same flag colors or the border colors. They also have it. The Missile of the Lone Defender, another one from the galactic history. So we're gonna declare war on both of them with the sole purpose of getting those specimens, but we might as well just vassalize them as well, right? Just get some tributaries to pay us some resources. It's gonna be good. Now that we finish up all of the remaining wars, let's go and declare war on the United Alvanian Mandate so we can get their special specimens. And with the specimens, let's hope that we get the one that we want, the prototype VER. We can straight up just jump at their capital, by the way, which is just gonna speed the process a lot faster. But we also want to vassalize them so they can pay us resources. We're gonna literally get everything from them, right? Grand Archive instantly dismantled when we arrived at their system. Now we just gotta wait until the jump drive cooldown, and then we jump to the other enemy's capital, because going all the way around is gonna take much more time. But wait a second, what is the specimen? Did they sold to somebody else? Or something like that? Man, or can't we get that specimen from, you know, just destroying their Grand Archive? That is not very good. So now let's see if this Grand Archive is gonna give us the specimens that we want, or if it is just a bait. Okay, now we got one, the Missile of the Lone Defender, which is fantastic, and also this one that gives us plus 10% trade from jobs. Not bad at all. Now all that we need is find one more specimen somewhere in the galaxy. Now we are also at war with another empire, the Union of Azohov Planets. However, we looked at it before and they don't have any specimens remaining. So we gotta find somewhere else, somebody else. Oh, great. So these little birds right here, they have the Sulebaster control column. All we gotta do is just get their Grand Archive, and thankfully it is very close to our empires, so we can just grab our recently created fleet and just send them there. That's actually bad. So the entire galaxy mobilized to go to war against the Phoenix Imperium, which they have the aura of the end, because they are Endbringers. Because of that, the coalition of Oscox Prime, which had the Grand Archive with the specimen that we wanted, well, they are now our allies in this war, and thus we cannot, you know, destroy their Grand Archive. So we're gonna need to first kill off the Phoenix Imperium. Oh boy. Alright, another Grand Archive destroyed on Linzer. Please. Oh, we got the Rudari Death Laser. So yes, this AI, they traded their artifact with the Phoenix Imperium, and now we got it back. So I would just need the energy that we are struggling because, well, we have a lot of automated work for it. So let's just buy it. It's 3,000. That's very expensive. So go here, Grand Archive, Activate it. Now let's pray that the curators have the right relic for us, commanders. It is RNG, so yeah. Can you assist? Galactic history. Purchase a relic, please. Prototype VER core. No. Well, we didn't get what we wanted. However, we have this one that gives us +1 effective counselor skill level. I would take it. It's not the most optimal one, but it's also not bad. Go here, buy it. We also launched our departmental efficiency agenda. So with this we have 11 skill level from 10 +1 from Champions of the Empire. Then we have 2 from species, 2 from departmental efficiency agenda. Then we have 1 from relics and 1 from shared benefits for 17 counselor skill level. We can increase it even further by just reforming our government, removing something like masterful crafters for entropy drinkers. That would give us another +2 effective skill level here. And we could also go for the mutagenic spas, which will give us +3 effective leader skill level while governing a colony with mutagenic spas. That would get us to skill level of 20 for our divine sovereign, which would then give us +20% job efficiency for psionic puffs from telepaths. But currently we are already gaining 17% on top of the base of 10%, so that is 27% job efficiency for psionic puffs for every 100 telepaths. That is ridiculous, commanders. So we subjugated more empires. Now the United Alvanian Mandate and the Rogerian Concord, which was their bulwark. And we have pretty much all of the galaxy, because the Phoenix Imperium, we are annihilating them in a total war, the Imperium Aura War. That's kind of a cool name. Yeah, the galaxy is ours, commanders. Literally ours. So yeah, commanders, so that you can see the powerful effects of the Divine Conduit plus maximizing our leader effective skill levels, which by the way are not at the most optimizable way, because we could have had a much better relic, and we could also change some of our civics to better accommodate more skill levels, but that is not our main goal. Anyways, with this we achieved over 240% job efficiency for psionic pops. It is really ridiculous. This improved our orderlies, which has a 200,000 job workforce, and with that we achieved 32,000 tech per month at the current patch, which would equal to 64,000 in the previous patch, but much more than that, because the economy itself is very much nerfed into the ground. Every 100 experiment engineers is producing this amount of tech, pretty much a science nexus on their own. And the end of the Cal Nudaran Enforcers. So the Awakener Empire that made the huge mistake of declaring war on us is now gone. With this, there aren't any other fallen empires present in the galaxy. That is only us and the Union of Azolop planets, as guys, which are just a pre-FTL that managed to reach the stars. But other than that, the entire galaxy is under our control. We have no need to make them our subject, except of just the cool effects, right? So we have all the galaxy painted in gray. We activated the L cluster and the Grey Tempest is here. How strong are they? What? 1.2 million? 2.6? What the hell? I didn't remember they were that strong. Damn. That's gonna be quite a challenge. I thought it would be a walk in the park. Man, we gotta send in our ships there very, very quickly. I mean, we are obviously gonna win, but yeah, you know, they can kinda cause some damage to the galaxy. In a point where the endgame crisis can spawn, we cannot afford them disrupting our operations in any system. Imagine if they destroy one of our megastructures, that would be catastrophic. So let's see our first engagement against the Great Tempest. Yeah, they are quite strong, but thankfully our science ship can be cloaked.
Overwhelming.
They left some mines there, but we are sending our entire armada against them. They will stand no chance. So we are engaging the Terminal Aggress with only one brave fleet of Harbingers and Stingers. They are accessing a point that has never been charted by the entire galaxy. Oh, they deal some damage, but it wasn't even enough to take one of our ships, apparently. Or was it? Oh, they destroyed one Harbinger. No. So far, only one fleet of ours is already massacring them. Once the reinforcements arrive, the Vitari Concord will once again make the galaxy a safer place. In the point of view of the Great Tempest, we are the crisis. We are invading their territory with full strength, and there is pretty much nothing they can do about it. Let's just make sure all of our fleets get in position at the same time, so no one suffered losses before the other. Right, just the utter obliteration of the Great Tempest now. They just instantly vaporize. But they destroy some Elder Harbingers because they have the Teal-slot weapons, which are quite devastating. Yeah, every engagement we lose a little bit of forces. Now let's move into position against the Roland, their main system. Look at the amount of strike crafts we have. Yeah, goodbye, Great Tempest. Tempest sent. Our forces have succeeded in destroying the main facility of the Great Tempest. Great. Now our plan is coming together. Ooh, a lot of fireworks. We're gonna once again grab our scientists. We're gonna just explore and establish a massive choke point on the terminal egress in the case that the crisis appear and decide to use the owl gates for some funny things. Okay, commanders, now we have the ghost signal, so we are going to face the contingency. This is actually good for our 4 crisis challenge, because if the contingency appeared as 2nd, 3rd or even 4th, that would be extremely difficult for us. So the stronger crisis must appear first if we have a chance to win the entire game. So for instance, if we get the Setana as 4th, it would be a massacre. The contingency as 1st, it is quite good. So, and since we have bioships, we do not use the other type of combat computer, the AI-1, which is hurt by the contingency, and also because we are psionic, so we use this variation. But I think that with the amount of fleet power that we have, which is currently, let's see, 9 million, I think we are pretty comfortable against the contingency. And we reach it, commanders, 100,000 research every single month, on top of close to 200% research speed. Yes, the only problem is our empire size, which increases our tech cost by 200%, but that's not something that we can control that much. And the arrival. At least one synthetic must have completed the long journey to the source of the ghost signal. On screen, the contingency protocol is now in effect. Alert: galactic corruption at catastrophic level. Evidence of mass infestation by organic and non-compliant machine civilizations. Little do they know that they're gonna get obliterated. We don't have sapient combat computers, which is completely fine. And now the first machine world on AO system. Where is it? On the other side of the galaxy, but dangerously close to one of our main consumer good worlds. This could be catastrophic if we lose control of this planet. How much fleet power? They have 17 million. That is actually quite a lot. I was expecting that they would be slightly weaker than that. Okay, so the second machine world is a little bit closer to us. That might be our first priority. Let's see the other 2. Third machine world, very far away from any of our systems. That's fine. Fourth and final machine world. Oh my god. Now this one is dangerously close to our empire. Let's already rush it, grab our juggernaut and all of our fleets basically, and send them to the lost system. We're gonna make our stronghold there, or perhaps even on Dur, which has 50% sublight speed reduction. So let's engage the first contingency fleet. They have 2 fleets actually, 3.3 million each. Let's see if we are strong enough. Okay, we do have the range advantage. Oh my god, we are obliterating them. Look at this swarm of strike crafts. Wow, did we lose anything? Oh, we didn't. Damn, that was cool. Now they are boxed in, we can already send our forces to take out the main sterilization hub, but we are gonna approach them from this hyperlane, which is the furthest away. If we go here, they might deal damage to some of our ships, because they are so close to the hyperlane and they will get in range very, very quickly. Now we have arrived at the main contingency world. The starbase is already gone, and now with all these strike craft present, their fleets are gonna get annihilated. Whoa. Once the Psionic bombers get in range, it's just utter obliteration. What is this? Oh, that's actually terrible. We don't have enough damage to defeat all of them very quickly. Well, let's see the losses here. Ooh, that's tough. We lost around 2,000 evo capacity in this engagement. Yeah, the enigmatic cache also wants to take a part in this battle, just rolling around the system. first machine world destroyed, a victory for the galaxy, and we are already making a move towards the second one. In the meantime, the contingency on the southern border, they have been pretty much stagnated. They haven't moved around any bit. And in the other section, they are actually making a move, but that's of no concern. They're just attacking some pretty useless vassals. Let's engage another one of the contingency roaming fleets. Okay, now this fleet, somehow we destroyed it pretty much instantaneously. They dealt 0 damage. Okay, so somebody attacked the contingency and moved their fleets a little bit. I think that this is a terrible place to attack them from. It's very close to their ships, so perhaps they're gonna try to go around in the Bistramar system, which is this one. So we go here to Gorim and Bistramar. Okay, now that we're in position, let's jump and fire everything that we have, commanders. Alright, now the tough part. They're military ships and they're getting very close. Oh, we are already going down. We lost the Juggernaut? Yes, we did. Ooh. Alright, let's see the actual losses. We have a 99% hit ratio, which is kind of fantastic, 0% evasion, but even then the Seeker drones are so devastating, they have so many of them. Well, anyway, let's now orb to bombard their planet, but I am kind of scared that they might receive reinforcements just while we are orb to bombarding their planet, and if that happens, they're gonna engage us in extremely close range, pretty much annihilating our entire armada. Okay, great, second sterilization hub destroyed, just 2 more to go. Let's take care of this roaming fleet before it can cause any more trouble to our empire. Engaging another roaming fleet, destroy the starbase instantly. Let's see the damage. They even managed to destroy 2 of our Elder Stingers. That is acceptable losses. Now let's move to this system. Oh, but they have 2 more fleets that they are not even moving. This might be challenging. 17 million fleet power. Yeah, let's first take out the roaming fleet and then we go here. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to lure them, because right now they have 2 defensive fleets on the AO system, and that is extremely dangerous. We can't engage them with 17 million fleet power on top of their 3.5 million starbase. So we're gonna send in our armies, and hopefully they're gonna move their fleet. They are already moving. I don't know if that was because of the armies, perhaps it was because of our forces getting into the Aldebaran system. So they are moving in to counter us. What we're gonna do is we're gonna move away and gonna face them directly, so all of our weapons are facing them when they arrive. Battle has commenced. They are already being annihilated from very far away, but our ships, they are getting so close that is dangerous. Every time that we strike them, we lose around 1,000 worth of naval capacity, and this is the worst system for us to strike from. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump to this vast system, the furthest away from their defensive position, and we're gonna strike them from there. Now let's see Terminal Agres in action. Let's see if it is strong enough to defend against at least one of the contingency's fleet.
Production ship silenced.
Our deep space citadels are not firing, they don't have the range. Oh, now they are. Haha, this is a little bit funny. But we deal 0 damage, yeah. It's certainly not gonna be enough. Yeah, goodbye deep space citadels. You didn't destroy anything from them. Not very efficient to just use T-slot weapons there. Okay, now let's engage the 3rd contingency system. Please don't move in so close. And I won't even see this. Let's just watch our naval capacity dropping. No, death of a great leader. Things are going bad, like terribly bad. Oh yeah, our ships are melee range with them. Yeah, that wasn't very good. And the 3rd contingency machine world has been destroyed. But right now we gotta do a whole lot of things because we lost so much fleet power. We only have 5.5 million and we started close to 10 million. So I don't think that we have the strength to push forward their last contingency world, this one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually try to reinforce our fleets, take out their roaming fleets first, because those we can safely take out, and then once we are strong enough we strike back at their main planet. So the cyborgs are appearing to help us fight the contingency. But how much fleet power do they have? What? They have 10 million? That is actually quite impressive. Of course, they're not that strong, but 10 million is surely gonna help us out, especially in securing this northern part of our territory, because currently there is only one machine world left, so we can concentrate our efforts in taking these roaming fleets. There are a lot of them in this region, and we leave the cyborgs to deal with the rest of their fleets. There are only 2 here on this section. Oh, here we're gonna have a clash of titans. The cyborgs against the contingency. Millennia-old rivals, but the contingency is far stronger. Who is gonna win? The cyborg has a lot more ships, but their ships are a little bit weaker than the contingency. Wow. Wait, more reinforcements from the cyborgs arrived. Let's see how the battle is going.
New truths have been revealed.
I think that the contingency have the upper hand here. Wow, just cubes fighting. Another cyborg's fleet reinforcement. Now I think the contingency might be cooked. Oh, it's such a close battle. Battle of the Ancients, literally. Oh, they're focusing everything on this Seeker subunit. Destroyed. Oh, 4 more ships for the contingency. Another one being blasted. We can't even see the contingency ship. It's just being melted. Oh, now contingency reinforcement arrived. Oh, it's over for the cyborgs. They lost. Damn, that was very intense. Well, now that we constructed our gateway network, we have fast access to all of our systems across the galaxy, and we can rapidly respond any contingency attack. Now that they destroyed the cyborgs on the Vega system, they are making a move towards one of our planets, so we're gonna use the gateway to quickly have access to that and perhaps surprise them. There we have it, our massive armada just... Oh my god, we are getting so fast. Are we getting close range? We are. We are jumping straight into their heads. I think that this might be a terrible engagement for us. I wasn't expecting that we would reach this system this quick. Oh boy. Yeah, a lot of Harbingers being destroyed. Ooh, we lost a lot of them, but we still managed to defend though. The contingency there to attack one of our planets that has been a very long time since they last did this, but they're gonna get what they deserve for doing that. Which is utter obliteration. Yeah, that's quite interesting. By just leaving our starbase, now we're losing 2,000 alloys, 17,000 food, everything's on the negative. Damn, kinda need a better economy to fight the other crisis, I suppose. So our divine conduit, Nomad Den Mere, served the Empire for 259 years. Yeah, why leave so soon, right? Just more than 2 centuries, not that much. Now we have 10 million ready to engage the final contingency world. Or is it the final? Well, we're gonna have to see. Let's move. Instead of going through the trap of the hyper relay, that's a trap, you're going for this. Very close to the hyper lane. Well, we are engaging their machine world.
Molding the world to our will.
It's gonna be a tough battle. It's never easy. Never easy. Their AI core is going down very rapidly. It pretty much got... And this swarm of Psionic bombers. Holy. Our allies are almost at the negative, so let's buy just a little bit. And come on, Vitaris. Oh, this ship's getting so close. Harbingers everywhere. Our naval capacity is going down very quickly. But we should win this. At a great cost. There we go. We won.
Hostile station engaged.
At the cost of several hundred Harbingers and Stingers. No way. And before we get to finish the contingency, now the Scourge is about to spawn. A storm on the horizon. These new crises are relentless. They just keep spawning non-stop. Now we are going to fight the heart of the contingency. Already destroyed their final machine world. Where is the heart? Is it here? I suppose it is. Yes. They have a lot of starbases which might look intimidating, but remember, we have the Zropods. And those things, they are starbase killers. They are meant to destroy those. They're gonna fall pretty quickly. Oh, this is it. Final battle against the contingency. Yeah. Once they lose the shields, it is just go down instantly. Come on, the Master Core. Alright, now we just have to orb to bombard their planet before any reinforcements arrive, which is also a little bit dangerous. Actually, they can't spawn reinforcements anymore, but their other fleets, they're all going to reinforce their main planet. At least that's what they're supposed to do. No way! A fleet belonging to the contingency has massacred the population of minerals. Oh no! Well, we only had 14 pops. The entire planet was pretty much automated using the Cosmogenesis automation, but that's not such a huge loss. And minerals, we can have ways of producing a lot more than that, but the atrocity will be avenged, don't you worry, commanders. You bastards. Wait, now it said that it... Oh, okay. Just needed a little bit of time. Our fleets are already avenging everyone, and the galaxy just want to take a little bit of the peace. You know, they're sending some Eyes of Lavender, mercenary warriors, to orb to bombard, and there we have it, the end of the contingency. The contingency has failed. With the destruction of the last machine world, the galaxy no longer faces the threat of systematic mass extinction. All surviving contingency war forms have either powered down or self-destructed, and the ghost signal is no longer being transmitted. Across the galaxy, sentient beings are united in their celebration of this great victory. For the moment, at least, the future looks bright. I'm not sure about that, since there is a coming storm, right? Yeah, coming storm. Mysterious cluster of subspace contacts has been detected on an approach vector with our galaxy. So what the contingency relic does is that it enables us to construct one additional megastructure of each type, which means we can have yet another Dyson sphere, giving us more energy credits, another strategic coordination center, giving us more naval capacity, another mega shipyard, and etc. You get the idea. Yeah, the only bad thing is that we are already upgrading 3 ring world sections, so we cannot start the construction of yet another mega structure. But eventually, we are gonna get them. Oh, the cyborgs have been relatively quiet since the defeat of the contingency, but a single massive vessel was recently detected departing Cyberx Beta. It left the system on an outbound trajectory that will take it beyond the limits of our galaxy. Citizen of the galaxy, since the contingency is no longer a threat, we feel that our role in the galactic community has been played out. Yeah, you served absolutely for nothing. Farewell, hope that you find better luck in other galaxies, because this one, you kinda didn't manage to defend. Now, this can't be right? Power surge, the Satana. What is happening? The Scourge didn't even appear so far, and we already have the Satana. We have the coming storm, the subspace contacts. Oh my god, we're gonna be facing 2 crises at once, and the Satana has... Oh man, no way. 271 million fleet power. We have 14 million. How are we gonna deal with that? Oh, we are so doomed. We are so doomed. Oh, no way. And just, oh man, a couple of days after the Satana, the Scourge is almost upon us, the breach point. Where are they coming from? No. No. There ain't no way. This gotta be a joke, right? This gotta be a joke. What is this? They are gonna appear on a Dyson Swarm, a Ring World, another Ring World, and Matter Decompressor. Man. And even on our Mega Shipyard, where we have all of our fleets. Now we gotta run from there. This is the unluckiest moment I have ever seen in Stellaris. I swear to you. What the hell? The Satana, the Scourge, and not only that, but the Scourge spawn here. Look at the entire galaxy. It is a gigantic galaxy. Why only our systems? Man. These wretched Xenos will be purged. Yes. Alright, thankfully they only spawned here in one system. They have 3.5 million. It is so pathetic. Compare that to the Satana, which only one fleet already has 45 million. How is that even fair? How is that fair? My Dyson Swarm. Dyson Sphere, actually. Oh, no. Well, let's send everything we got, right? That's the only thing we can do. Let's also activate this. Go for the armor damage. They only have armor. Well, but thankfully the Scourge kinda got in a very tough situation, right? They don't have much place to expand. And we are perfect against them. So we just gotta hold here. They're gonna send all of their fleets, and their fleets are gonna be utterly annihilated. The problem is, I think you gotta push forward because they're gonna start to orb to bombard the ring worlds. And that's not good. Yeah, our fleets are devastating against them.
Silenced.
Just instantly kill everything. Leave our Dyson Sphere alone. Alright, we already cleared all of their fleets. Now, go back quick. We are gonna go back to Bellatrix, which is one of the systems that they cannot appear from. Because they're gonna get even more fleets very, very soon. And if our ships are in the same system that their main fleets are, you're gonna get annihilated. Okay, now the second wave. Alright. 71 million fleet power. Holy. 150 million fleet power in total against 14 million. But we do have the best ship designs, commanders. So we might be able to pull this off. There we have it, their first fleets. 3 fleets of 15 million, probably. Oh man. Please, get away from them. Oh, it takes so long for us to destroy their ships. They are so tanky. And during this time they get closer and closer to us. Alright, we annihilated them, that's great. But they are landing forces on one of our planets, the Praetorian Invaders. Once they get this planet, they're gonna start to purge every pop. That's gonna be terrible. But they have 2 more fleets going into the system. So we gotta retreat a little bit. Yeah, we wanna have a little bit of long range against them. Do not want to be this close once they arrive. Oh, there we have it. Oh, the second force. Come on. Oh, most of our fleets are not engaging. We were outside the range, that's why. Let's get a little bit closer then. Look at the amount of strike crafts. Okay, defeated. Now let's move past before they take control of our other planets. Oh, but they are sending more reinforcements. If you go into this hyperlane right now, we are gonna be in close range with them, which means we're gonna get utterly annihilated. So we're gonna sit tight. Just wait for them to approach. Tech 4 already got dominated. They're gonna start to purge everyone in the planet. No. Our other worlds, it is only a matter of time before they fall as well. More fleets. This time they got annihilated instantly. And now, yeah, they're sending in one more force. Once they send in this force, we're gonna try to reclaim our ring world. They're invading one more planet. Oh, but we have a lot of garrison here. Thanks to the job automation. The age is complex. But at the same time, they are orbital bombarding. Oh my god, it's so tough. Yeah, once their ships drop, they are instantly gone. They're sending 2 more reinforcements. Let's go. How much time until we reach that? 8 days. Can we get it before? It's gonna be tough. Alright.
The conclave is prepared to.
Okay, we kinda have the firepower. Ooh, we are losing ships. Okay, we didn't lose that many. That's great. The problem is every ship that we lose is one less ship that we have to fight the Citara, which is the 3rd crisis as at 100 times the strength. Yes. Signal in the storm. Give me one moment to breathe, please. My children at last, I will return to you. Oh no. Now we gotta do the special project, the Mysterious Tempest. Finishes in 1 month. Alright, we reclaimed Tech 4 after we destroyed their defensive fleet. Now there is only one more Scourge fleet remaining, and they are making a desperate attempt to destroy our forces. But that's gonna be completely futile. There they are.
Fight!
Gonna clear them very quickly. Nice. Now move and destroy everything from down. Now the last bit from the Scourge. Okay, the end of the Scourge. Now the Setana, the return of the Queen. Great work, alright. Can she be stopped? The Synthetic Queen situation. So what we did here, commanders, we are sending all of our fleets. Look at how many paths we have. They're being sent across the galaxy to attack. Each one is going to attack one of the Setana's outposts. We have so many fleets that we can cover around 15 of our outposts at the same time. This is going to reduce the Setana situation progress, which might give us a chance. You're only curious. Now we have our Cryptid Stinger fleet. These guys, what they're going to do, they're going to attack her convoys. Because the Setana, she has these little things roaming around the galaxy, and each time that we destroy one of these, we get a little bit more progress towards countering the Setana. These guys, they're gonna be in position across our empire, and you're gonna send them to basically destroy the convoys every once in a while. Now the Veiled Temple, let's hear what she has to say. The Nameless Apostate. Friends, may I call you friends? I have observed you as you went about your business, here not to plunder but to learn. I believe our enemy is the same, and a common threat makes us allies. However, first an apology. Am I too abrupt? Am I saying the correct words? I have not interacted with other sentient beings in a long time. Too long, it seems even to remember. Who are you? What are you doing here? And how long have you been there? Understood. The one we found alive is in no condition to fight, so we welcome you, the Nameless Apostate. We can have her on our council. That's gonna be incredibly powerful. She gives us plus 15% damage against Setana, her convoys, her outposts, and her herself. That's quite good. So let's delve into the Shroud and see if we can find the Animator of Clay to help us fight the Setana. Please. Oh, amazing. We are not alone in observing her. From a hidden vantage point, the entity known as the Animator of Clay watches on, uncowed by the Queen's limitless power. Why? Does it know of a weakness we do not? Will it assist us if we reach out to it? As we focus our minds upon the Animator, we sense its impatience. It is very likely that we will only have one opportunity to ask for its aid in this matter. Massive quantities of energy and roll will be needed for the effort. So let's reach out to the Animator of Clay. Yes, Setana has escaped. Please, we must stop her. Please. Embrace the Doll of Alloys, so our alloys become a shrouded world, or pay the price, 27,000 Zro, or we can shed a tear on the doll of our ruler, Hemaden Haru, our empress and chosen of the instrument. She would be gone. Man, that's a tough decision. How would it cost you? Yeah, I think that's gonna cost more Zero than we can ever pay for. Yeah, so we sold pretty much all of our resources, 1.5 million food, 50,000 dark matter, and etc. And we are nowhere close to the 27,000 Zero. We should have done this way earlier. So we're gonna have to sacrifice our ruler. No, the Animator of Clay has taught us a ritual that will reprogram Setana. And with that, oh, we lost the Divine Sovereign. Oh my god, no way. I think it would have been better if we lost the Alloy Worlds. No. Well, and we can't even reform our government. How terrible is that? Perhaps our economy is gonna bankrupt from this though. No way. Oh my god, now we got the Bane of the Synthetic Queen plus 125% damage against her. That's quite amazing. Oh, the time has finally come to face the Setana. It is your end that approaches. We are now at war against her, and oh boy, it's gonna be tough. Her fleets suddenly jumped from 90 million or 45 million fleet power to 148. That's a little bit scary. But we are already mobilizing all of our armada in order to defeat her. Wait, it shows that she has fleet power, but 800 million. Wasn't she disabled? Oh no, they are sending one of the their ships. Why? Oh, they're gonna arrive right at our ships. That is terrible. They're gonna arrive on the front of the cryptid stingers. Let's quickly send our Mauler fleets. That is kind of hopeless, right? They're not gonna arrive it in time. But man, let's activate the Astro Boost this time. Let's go for this. And fuel as well. Gonna have the sublight speed so we can evade this incoming fleet that I did not see it coming.
Our forces engage.
Oh, the cryptid stingers. Everyone is just getting annihilated at close range. Ooh. Looking tough. Let's not even look at the battle so it processes a little bit faster. And perhaps we're gonna have a better chance. Okay, at least this one we are kinda taking out.
New truths
Are they
have
sending
been
more
revealed.
fleets? They're not. There we go. We destroyed them. At a massive cost. We lost half of our cryptid stingers. But we are not yet done. Now we gotta mobilize and send everything we got against her. Ooh. That's it, commanders.
Hostile
It's do
station
or die.
engaged.
We either win or we lose here in this engagement. The Satana Titan it was disabled, so she's not fighting. Well, our fleets are going down, but the good thing is we are getting close to her Titan. So let's send our Maulers there. Let's see if everything's gonna focus down her Titan. The Colossus, please. We're not dealing any damage. You're focusing on the starbase. That's the wrong target. Oh, only 10,000 ships, 9,000. Oh, we can't even penetrate the Satana station. We don't have enough firepower, commanders. The cryptid stingers, they are fighting. No. No.
The
Everyone
conclave is
lost.
prepared to convene. The conclave is ready to
Without... what is this? Only 80 million damage. But that was not enough. We didn't even scratch her Titan and her outpost even. Oh man. So that's gonna be the end of the galaxy. Within 21 months. No. Now one thing that is very interesting is that she doubled in power. Right? Now she has 28,000% modifiers. Instead of the 11,000 she spawned with. And 11,000 would be equivalent to the 100 times crisis. This one is equivalent to the 200 times crisis. So I don't know what happened, and it is obviously 12 years later than the Unbeaten. So perhaps instead of the Unbeaten spawning, we got the Satana twice? I think that's what happened. So this is not even the 100 times Satana, but instead the 200 times. The hell? Yeah, she has only around 1 billion HP, and she regenerates, let's see how much, 10% per day. Yeah.
spaceborne life.
And now the Unbeaten wants to spawn. Alright, yeah, for sure. Now the Unbeaten... Will they be alive if the Satana destroyed the galaxy? Oh, there we have it, the Unbeaten. Oh my god, it's such a mess. Where are they? We have full intel across the galaxy. Oh, there they are. Yeah, with just 728 million fleet power. But look at these commanders. This is the 200 times crisis, right? It is the final crisis, 200 times. They have the same modifiers, 28,000%, as the Satana. So in this run, we got 200 times crisis happening. Wow, that's simply ridiculous. That is simply ridiculous. What the hell? And Satana is even stronger than the Unbeaten at this strength, right? Oh, that was so lucky. Once again, another reason to why this run was the unluckiest run I have ever gotten. The Scourge appeared here at the same time as the Unbeaten. And not only that, she simply doubled the power and got to 200 times. Yeah, now make that make sense, right? Now she's gonna end the game.
Another eye.
There it is, the suffering, it is done. Satana won, we are done. Now let's just go to observer mode, see if the Unbeaten survives. No, the Unbeaten got destroyed. Well, that's a little bit silly. So she annihilated everyone. Satana is the ultimate winner. But anyway, commanders, that's gonna be it for the Vitari playthrough. I think that we did great, right? We wanted the best build to beat all the 4 crises. We tried our best. We managed to defeat the first crisis and the second one, the contingency, then the Scourge. The third one, the Satana. I think we could have had a chance if it was the regular 100 times Satana, but instead we fought the 200 times Satana. She had twice as much fleet power as she would have had, but it was quite fun to face two 200 times Crises at the same time. Of course, we didn't fight the Unbeaten, but you know, they spawned. And in the end, Satana just annihilated everything, including the extra-dimensional invaders that just spawned and got annihilated. They didn't last like 1 year in the galaxy. But anyway, Commanders, I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave that like button. It helps me out a lot. And as always, I will see you guys next time.